Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mouse Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a new brandy that I got at a winery.
me and John made the same face with that drink just now. We're like, I don't know about it.
Let me try it again.
It doesn't sip like a brandy. So what it is
Sips like a hard wine.
it doesn't sip like a brandy. It sips like because it's made with the
Sorry. Go ahead.
because it's made with some of the grapes from the winery.
I mean,
I'm already
So
crying.
you get that natural sugar from the grapes. It doesn't sip like a brandy, but it was distilled
Spirit of Woods.
like a brandy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
I've had brandy before, and brandy's fine, but it's a hard wine.
You know, well,
Don't tell me. I'm not the one who said brandy. Brandy is on the bottle.
okay.
No, I mean I'm sure that's what it's supposed to be. I'm just saying taste wise, it's very interesting. It tastes like wine that wants to be liquor.
It's true.
It's exactly what it is.
So I may not finish.
I mean, I'll drink
Today.
it. I'll drink yours too if you want.
Well, it's kind of a bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm John Carpentier.
You guys know who I am.
Okay. Well, the whole point of that is this is Paul Lucenti. This is our friend, our good friend, who a lot of times in the past episodes will say, "Hey, our friend," and then we won't say his name.
This is
That's
the guy.
him, and I don't know why we do that. I don't know why we do that.
I've called them out on it though, so
Yeah.
don't worry. My name will be showing up.
Nice. You just got back from Disney too.
I did. What day is today? Friday. I got back on Tuesday.
This week.
Yep.
I want to know two things before we get into what we're getting into.
Wait, is this going to air on a Friday? Did I?
No. Well, yeah, they all
You
air on
ruined it.
Fridays.
Continuity. The continuity.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Ruined.
Oh, so today is September 2nd. So he got back the Tuesday. Of the-
Yeah.
So I need to know two things.
That's a good brandy.
I'll tell you 3.
Okay. I need to know how. You don't have to go crazy into detail.
In fact, please don't.
How was Cosmic Rewind? Because neither of us have ridden that yet. I've ridden Ratatouille's, Remy's Ratatouille adventure, but not that.
Oh, that was my first time on Cosmic Rewind. I did it back in June.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it opened in June. I went the week after it opened. I love Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah.
Though, so for the viewers, we've talked about our favorite rides before.
Yeah.
I know you did a whole episode about it, but we've talked.
Yeah.
And my favorite up to that point was Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
Then I went on Cosmic Rewind in June, and I said, this is my favorite ride.
That's crazy.
But I went back. So in June, I didn't go on.
Then I went back, and I'm like, nah, it's a Rise.
Well, no, it's still great. Yeah, well, I went back. I hadn't gone on Rise
I
in
didn't care for
June
Rise.
because the line was so long.
Okay.
But for any fans out there who want to know the best time of year to go to Disney, it's the week before Labor Day. 100%. It's always so slow. So I went on Rise again, and I don't know. I think that's still my favorite ride. Now, I think Cosmic Rewind's right there.
Really?
But
where does it fall for you with Flight of Passage?
Flight's number 3.
Really?
Yeah, those are my top 3 rides.
I mean, they're
Bottom
game
line.
changers. Whatever.
I could go into Disney and ride those 3 rides alone.
Really?
Now,
And be
not
sad.
like every time. Eventually, I want to go on Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
but
yeah.
if I was like, hey, I only 3 rides,
You would hit
those
those.
are the 3. Yeah.
And it's like they're all like really pretty new rides, like relatively to the park's existence, and they're like literally game changers. Because I remember going on Flight of Passage and saying like, "This is the best thing that I've like ever seen." And then when Rise came, I'm like, "What? I don't even understand how awesome this is."
Well, it's 3 different things, right? So for me, Rise is like a cinematic adventure,
yeah,
which is crazy. It's a long ride. We actually took a friend of ours who has never been to Disney,
yeah.
and he walked off, and he's like, "This is like the type of ride you would usually pay extra to go on."
And now you do.
Now you do. I don't mind paying the $15 to skip the line.
Yeah, fair enough.
I will never pay it every time.
Well,
No,
you see,
but
okay,
once in a while.
so the episode before this or something, one of the two, it has not aired yet, but we plan each other's Disney day.
Okay.
And no,
was
not the plan
wild.
each other. No, it's the spend
Wild.
$100 one. To spend $100.
That was also wild.
Spend $100, and he bought No. I bought Genie Plus and Lightning Lane ride, and he did not.
I'll skip on it every time.
Yeah, I would just starve. I would not eat, and if I only had $100, and I would go on. I would do. Hold on.
That was the most ridiculous
I was
thing I've
just-
ever heard.
I'm thinking about how many.
Say.
I got to think about how much I would spend just on Lightning Lane. So $15 on Cosmic Rewind, $15 on Flight of Passage, $15 on Rise of Resistance. It was $45 right
But
there.
don't you have to buy Genie Plus to even do that, or
No,
no?
so-
You don't.
So Genie Plus,
Panders to
it's
the
like
rich.
it's like a fast pass, or if something you do at Universal or Six Flags, where you pick a ride for like an hour ahead of time, and then you can pick another one and another one after you ride it. You know the process.
Yeah.
But it only works for every ride but one or two at each park. So the
Oh.
really top tier rides you can't use Genie Plus on. So Rise, Guardians, Flight, those
Okay.
are top tier rides. Those you pay an additional fee.
Oh.
So you don't need
Yeah,
Genie
yeah,
Plus
yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
I know.
So I don't get Genie Plus because
You could just do the Lightning Lanes.
Yeah.
And the ones that are Genie Plus, half of them you could just, if you're
Ex-
smart, if
you
you
know how to
the
do it.
lay of the
Yeah.
land, you're good.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Which I don't know if you're going to tell them your process one day if you have or have not, or you're going to keep that a secret on how you walk into Magic Kingdom. But
Maybe. We'll do a strategy video one day.
Yeah, we'll bookmark that.
But I think it's worth it. I don't mind spending the extra because again, it's only, and so I do a lot of solo trips to Disney. So I'll go and I get it. If you have a wife and 6 kids, now you're not talking about $15 anymore. You're talking about
Right.
the
Yeah,
math.
no, there's a difference between a single adult and like a family.
Yeah. So for me, it makes sense. It's like, hey, I want to go on this ride. All right, $15, let's go.
Got it.
Yeah.
That was the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my life.
And then the second thing I wanted to know was how did you like... No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. You saw the new Finding Nemo show, The Big Blue and Beyond.
Oh yeah,
we
haven't talked about that
we
yet.
have
So
to talk about
we
it.
need to know about that immediately because the Finding Nemo musical was my favorite thing about Animal Kingdom.
Do you want spoilers?
I kind of do.
Okay, like how much? Do you want me to save the thing I told you about that you're gonna laugh at?
Okay, here's the thing.
I want all the spoilers. Spoiler alert.
I watched some stuff on
Okay,
YouTube
okay.
and stuff. I think I know what's hilarious.
Well, I'm gonna ask you
Yeah.
what it is. Then I'll say a few things that I'm gonna ask
I
you.
think
what
I
you
know what
think,
it is, but you go.
because I feel like you probably know.
Yeah.
And
it is hilarious.
okay, so it wasn't bad.
Right.
It's just very, for anyone who's seen the Finding Nemo show before, you're gonna, and I don't know if you've never seen it, if you're even gonna notice if it's gonna be a big deal, but I noticed everything cut out because they cut out. First off, they bring narration in, so all the fish characters from the fish tank are narrating the whole show because they need some way to get
Why are
past
they
the fact that
doing
they
that so
skip
much?
tons of clips.
Like Mrs. Potts narrates.
Well, the weirdest one was they skipped the whole scene where Marlin gets stung by the jellyfish and all that stuff happens.
Huh?
So like he just goes off stage perfectly fine, and then he wakes.
Dory.
And then he wakes up on Crush, and you're just
Oh.
kind of like, what?
Oh, right.
But so this is turning into okay. So it's going to change again. It's going to change again, and what it's going to turn into is not going to be a Finding Nemo the musical. It's going to be a Finding Nemo themed musical, and it's just not going to have anything to do with the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like they do. So Find Nemo sings that song that John knows I hate, which is "That's My Dad," but there's no lead up to it. It's just a narration that's like, and Nemo knew his dad was out there, and then it cuts and it's
That's
Nemo
my
singing that
dad.
song.
Oh, really?
So there's not that whole scene where it's like, sorry, not the one where he's like not my dad. But there's no lead up to. So usually it's like, oh, your dad will come for you, blah 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 blah. He's like, no, and it's like all dramatic. He's like, nah, my dad.
And that's the first time you hear that song?
No, the first time you hear it, because it comes out of nowhere now.
Oh.
So like, there's a scene with like Marlin, and then it cuts, and then there's some narration. They're like, and back at the fish tank, and it's all of a sudden it's Nemo's like, not my dad. It comes out of
I don't
nowhere.
know, but it's like the show's like 15 minutes shorter.
Yeah, it's about a half hour
Do
now.
you feel that?
Oh yeah, you do. I mean, every
like in a
song
bad
they
way?
didn't cut any songs,
No?
so not a single song is cut, but they cut dialogue everywhere.
Okay.
They
Does
cut. So the biggest thing that they cut, like the whole beginning, is not there. You don't see any of
The wife and
none
the,
of that.
What?
You
That
don't
was
see
so
any of the
emotional.
first we look out, first we that part.
Yeah.
Whatever is that? I don't care about that song. They do the song, but they don't do that part.
So
of
we
it.
didn't cut any songs. but
No, they
cut-
sing that
oh,
song.
Oh, okay.
They just start with the
Because that's the Big Blue World song.
yeah. They just start with the I just had it in my head, but the part dana 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 da 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 that part.
Oh yeah. Hey dad, wouldn't
Yes.
it be cool?
It starts with that. They don't do the whole first we
We look out and then we go back in.
Yeah, that
And
whole
then,
thing.
You know,
yeah.
sometimes if you want to do it 4 times or whatever.
Yeah, all of that's cut.
Oh, okay.
Gets to the school, all of that's cut. Nemo doesn't do the dumb thing that I also kind of like when he's swimming toward the
boat?
Yeah, so everything that was originally like hanging or on strings or wires, all cut. Everything is all on the ground now. There's
Someone must have died.
yeah.
So there's no more technical problems.
What's Crush's son's name? Squirt doesn't spin, except he does. He just spins like this now.
Hey, look at me, Dad. Oh, you're such an
He just
amazing.
he just does like this kind of spin now.
Does he do the righteous? Yeah.
Oh, I filmed the righteous.
Man.
This specific guy did it the way that is our favorite and our least favorite at the same time.
Oh, really?
He gets really excited and there's no
There's no payoff.
Yeah. So he was like righteous. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did like a laugh. He was like yeah.
You filmed that?
I filmed it.
Oh,
Of
I
course I
gotta
did.
see
We'll
that.
watch it after this.
That's
yeah.
so funny.
So he did that, and then what's the thing you think that I thought you were gonna laugh at?
At the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
When Nemo and Marlin have the moment after like, love you, Dad, love you too. And Marlin kind of looks at the, audience, goes, but then freaking so does the other fish. He's like, the narrator fish. He's like,
So
like,
backstory.
who cares?
I called John afterwards, and I told him, I said, hey, there's a moment at the end. I don't know if I want to tell you about it. And he's like, don't tell me. But I'm like, I think you're going to find it hysterical because it's like a moment that you've always kind of liked.
Yeah.
Where
it's
Marlin does like a...
Yeah, it's a good ending.
But there was like a... And then there was that fish that I don't even know his name because who cares?
Yeah, what is his name?
The one with that doesn't have a fin as well.
Yeah.
So he looks at Marlin and he goes like this. As if he's nodding with approval, as if he's a part of the story. Like... it was very odd. Yeah, they actually end up back in the ocean too at the end. They don't do the whole fill it up with poop joke.
Okay.
Like they cut out everything. Like
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the Crush was a good singer.
What's his
it was
name?
good to have.
His name is Gil.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
of course.
sure. Gil. Whatever. I don't want to even know his name. They cut out the penguins, which let's all we all know that's the best part.
Cheers to the penguins.
Oh yeah. Come
Yeah.
on. They cut out the
I know.
penguins.
Wait a second. We're penguins. We can't fly.
Cheers to the penguins.
To the penguins.
Cheers to the penguins. Yeah. So that was really good.
All right. Well, thanks for filling us in.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
When I said I was going to tell you 3 things, I thought of
yeah.
the third one. Don't remember what it was.
That's hilarious.
No idea.
Okay.
Yeah. All the better for it, I think.
Maybe it was Nemo, and we just got to it.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think it was, but
If I think about another question, I'll ask you. But today we're going to talk about restaurants. I'm kind of excited about this because we have each made, and we have not talked about it yet, and I think our lists are going to be very different, but we've each written down our top 5 restaurants. Now, I did it in an order. Did you?
well, yeah, it's a top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
What's a non-order? That's just 5 restaurants.
Well, when we did when we were when Joe was here, we did like a top 5 MCU and Pixar, and it was off the cuff.
That was off the cuff.
It was off the cuff.
Oh,
That's why.
yeah.
That was.
But
that
when
was
we did our
mayhem.
top rides, we had a 5 through 1. Sorry.
Mayhem.
But then we did a bottom 5 as well. We're doing the top 5, bottom 5 sit-down restaurants only, not quick service. Well, that'll be a separate video with Paul.
Parks, resorts, and springs.
Yes, correct. So, parks, resorts, and springs. That includes Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, friends.
Is there a sit-down at either of those?
No, I don't think so. It's all
I know
quick
there's a
service.
quick service.
Yeah, quick service.
And they're both awful.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's one of them called? Something dogs, slipping dogs, or something.
Oh yeah, I think that's the one that has like all the nice picnic tables. I actually like that one.
Of course you do.
But I don't think that would be in my top 5, like quick service or anything.
No, it's junk food. It's fine. I mean,
but you're feeling that on a water park day.
Yeah. You want some chili on fries or whatever they give you there.
Anyway, we'll go honorable mentions as well for like honorable mentions and dishonorable mentions as well.
There's just too many restaurants.
Too many. So without further ado, Andrew.
I'm going to start this show, I guess. Are we starting with favorites or least favorites?
I say we go.
I think
What do we go?
favorites.
5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, like that, or do you want to just do the tops?
Let's start with the tops, right?
Like, yeah, no. We're gonna do the tops, but how we gonna do it is you gotta say his 5, your 5, my 5, then his 4.
Or should we start with the bottoms first?
No.
Start with tops?
Bottoms funnier.
Johnny thinks the bottoms are funnier, so we start with the tops.
I mean,
I'm going to go with 5. He says 5. You say 5.
You're gonna say your 5. That's what you're doing.
I'm going to go number 5 is this.
Yeah, we're not going
5
1.
then.
Yeah,
5.
5. Yeah.
We should have
We're
figured
ending
this
with
out
1.
before we hit the record button. But here we are.
But
that's fine.
I think what John is asking is, am I saying all my 5 right now or just number 5?
Just say your
just
number
5.
5. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That way we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
These
Number
are the tops?
So we're doing tops first, and I'm open to changing it.
This is
Like we go down bottoms,
John.
tops.
I officially have the floor.
Okay.
My number 5 tops. Number 5.
We do the honorable mentions before number 1. Sorry.
Well, we can do this after because what if we
we'll
hit
do
a
the
bunch of honorable mentions?
We'll do the honorable mentions before number 1.
No, what? Oh, before number
Like
1.
our-
Gotcha.
My
personal
number
ones,
5 tops.
He's got the floor.
Number
Number
5 tops.
He's always had the floor.
Diamond Horseshoe. Discuss. No, actually, don't discuss. Let me tell you why.
We all went there together.
We all went together, and it's very possible for anyone that doesn't like it. I just had a good time for also the company that we kept. But you know what? That's my kind of food. I'm very much a barbecue kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm very much we run out of something, bring more to the table.
Yep.
That is just my kind of restaurant.
I had an excellent time with you guys there.
And I know you've gone again and had less than a stellar experience, but I mean, there's nothing saying that it won't change again.
And that's why, certain things, and no spoilers here, but certain things are on honorable mention or dishonorable mention. Doesn't mean the opinions won't change, but it's where it stands right now.
I enjoyed Diamond Horseshoe. When I look at my tops, and you'll see this a lot, it's going to come down to not only food but atmosphere and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Diamond Horseshoe, the food was good, but when I look back, I can't even remember what they offered for food. I can assume, I believe they had mac and cheese, probably because it's barbecue, but I don't remember. It's
Campfire food, right?
Yeah.
They had mac and cheese.
But I don't remember. I don't remember eating it. Whereas there's places
Okay.
I've eaten once,
never forget
years
mac and
before
cheese.
we ate there,
Never.
and I remember everything I had.
Do you want me to pull up menus or anything? Or
No.
nah? Okay.
Pass.
Do you know where
That's
the I've already got the menu out. It's right there.
Well, you said you don't remember what you ate.
Yeah, you did.
You just said that. So
Yeah, well, that's a family. What do they call it? Family
family.
Yeah, it's a famous.
family style. Family style.
family-
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thanks,
family
Andy.
style. You're right. But it's also all you can eat. So, that is family style.
Which
right?
I do put
And-
that into my. I think about that in my tops.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And do you guys get a kick out of it as much as I do? Like, because obviously we were a table of 4 guys. So and obviously as you run out, they bring stuff to the table.
Yeah.
But the second that plate is down, it's out.
Oh, it's out.
It's
yeah,
out.
and that stresses me out.
Oh, really? I get a real kick out of that.
Yeah, it stresses me out.
Oh, okay. You get stressed easy though.
My
do.
my number 5, John's gonna appreciate this one. I don't even know how it ended up on my list. Not in a bad way. It's a great place, but I feel like no one would expect me to have this on my top 5. But my number 5 is Yachtsman Steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
I really, really enjoyed. We went there,
Can't see it
Yeah.
coming.
and I remember exactly what I had. I had the ribeye, which was delicious. I remember John shared a giant
$150
T-bone steak,
and basically it's just this giant T-bone, and it's for 2. So we shared it with my wife, and I think about that sometimes. I think about that at night. I think it was great.
The drinks were great there.
Yeah.
I mean,
remember the dessert?
this is her.
Me and Joe.
Coors Light tastes like Coors Light everywhere. What was so special about the drinks?
I didn't get
What
Coors
was that?
Light.
Are you saying that steaks taste the same everywhere?
No, he's talking about the drinks. He said Coors Light. I don't drink
Oh.
Coors Light.
Yeah, but it's the
I'm not
atmosphere.
14.
That was the first.
what were
beer.
the-
Kids don't drink.
That was
Well-
the first beer I ever tried. It was a Coors Light.
What was the
I think it
drink?
was mine too.
Really?
What was the drink you had?
It
that
was
so memorable.
It was one of the ones on the menu. It wasn't anything special.
So it wasn't
He's like, I
special.
don't remember.
I remember it was delicious. I remember I loved it.
It's the atmosphere. It's the
Yeah.
time you remember. The dessert though was like the s'mores sundae. It was wild. I didn't like it that much.
And-
it was cool.
And there was a terrible family next to us. And the fact that I had a good experience, especially with how OCD I am, with
yeah.
a terrible family.
I forgot.
I've been best friends with John for 14 years now, and
Yeah.
I get annoyed. Like, it's just my personality. Like, when I'm around people too often, like,
Yes.
John knows that, and
Yeah.
he's very good at dealing with it.
Yeah.
He'll just be like, Paul, go away for a minute.
Yeah.
But there was this horrible family next to us with the dad yelling at the kids.
And the
And
waiter, too, like, right? Like, he was just being...
no, the waiter was fine.
No.
To the waiter. Yes,
yeah.
yes. It was a very awkward situation. It was like his mom's like 100th birthday or something.
Cheers to her.
I want to go to Yachtsman's Steakhouse for my 100th.
Yeah, it was good though. So that's why I have it as my number 5. I really
Okay.
really enjoyed Yachtsman's Steakhouse.
That's a solid choice.
Solid
Yeah.
choice.
The rest are gonna be throw you off, but
Yeah, number 5 for me. So what resort is Yachtsman? It's Yacht Club, right?
Yacht Club. Yep.
I believe the Yacht Club is also where houses my 5th would be Ale and Compass. Yes, because after Yachtsman, we walked out and we're like, we got to try Ale and Compass.
Yeah.
I had since gone there for breakfast, and here's why it's number 5, because I feel like it has the ability to be like in my mids, just because I ate there one time, but the atmosphere was perfect. It was a darker atmosphere, which I like. It feels more like upscale to me. And the breakfast I was like the shrimp and grits thing, like just like up like. I would.
Did you get the shrimp and grits?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
What he's talking about, he obviously got it.
Sorry.
I would have breakfast there every time I go to Disney World. It was fantastic, and I obviously want to try, lunch, dinner. But it was that memorable and that good that it makes it on, right on number 5.
Breakfast is interesting because there's a few places that I didn't put in my top 5 because they're only good for breakfast, and it's in my honorable. So if it doesn't come up, we probably already know what I'm talking about. But if it doesn't come up, I'll bring it up in honorable mention.
Fair enough. Okay. Number 4, Andrew.
Number 4, ready, Rose and Crown Pub.
Yes.
And there it is.
This guy.
Now, I am not only a big fan because picky eater, sue me, but it does have a few things on the menu that I do like, and what I have had, I've really enjoyed to the point where I would order it again. And you know what? It's a great spot to sit specifically. Well, I don't know anymore. The fireworks show has changed, but it's also a fireworks show viewing, and it's just a nice spot.
I'll go ahead and agree.
John's. It's not his favorite. I know you liked it like the first time, and then you've had bad experiences since.
That's the problem. I'm like, this is a really good hidden gem, and then like every time I've gone back, it's gotten like progressively less, and then the last time I went, I'm like, we got to take a break from this place for a little while. But I think like with the pandemic and stuff, they sent a lot of people back to their countries because they had to work visa, and now I think people are starting to come back. So I think the quality took a dip, and now I think it's coming back. So again, that's why some things are in my honorables.
And sometimes it's your own fault too. I mean that's it. I'm gonna blame I'm gonna talk about my experience, not yours. But I'm just saying like you're like someone else's. So also a picky eater, not to the same extent as Andrew. Though again, I guess it's different foods. Like we'll eat different things. Yeah,
you're both ridiculous in different ways.
But the first time I went to Rose and Crown Pub, I actually didn't enjoy my meal. I enjoyed the atmosphere, I enjoyed everything. But I ordered, it was like a brisket because I love brisket. But my fault, I didn't read the menu where it said I hate vinegar and vinegar-based items, and it had a vinaigrette over it that was so potent, I couldn't eat it. I think I actually switched my meal with someone else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I went back and I got the shepherd's pie.
Boom.
And the shepherd's pie there is absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
And I got the black currant cider, which is like the best cider you can get in Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
Though I watched them make it one time, it's not as impressive as I thought. It's just literally a regular plain cider that they add a pouch of black currant to.
Oh, really?
But it's delicious nonetheless.
Yeah.
So I have enjoyed it since. So I do enjoy Rose and Crown. It's probably in my mids. It's somewhere where I would definitely eat. I'd say like 7 out of 10 of the times I would go there if someone asked.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. 7 out of 10 for me is like pretty good. Like it's like I'll go there. Anything 5 out of 10 for me Just so you know, my scale means I ain't probably not going there. Probably not going.
Fair enough.
Odd scale.
No, it's
Five and below.
Something only he could probably.
Right?
5 and below is like, all right, I guess if you're paying.
Yeah. I really loved the Yorkshire pudding there, and they took it off the menu. I'm not sure if it's seasonal or not.
Was that the one? No, they had a trifle too, remember? That was really good.
That was at the dessert?
That's what saved that day I got the vinaigrette grossness, was they gave me the trifle, and it was delicious.
They used to do a surf and turf that was steak and fish.
That's what Ariel would get every time. You do. Yeah, that's awesome, and I don't think they have that anymore.
I don't think so.
You eat fish, Andrew?
Well, fish and chips, right?
The fish that goes in fish and chips, the haddock, cod, flounder,
yeah.
those milder fish. you know?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've also had a Parmesan crusted tilapia.
Tilapia is in the same kind of like neutral fish taste.
Yeah, so like
I can eat
it's a little bit
salmon.
more fishy. I don't need
Salmon has I love salmon,
I
but
don't
salmon has a
salmon.
distinct taste, whereas like the fish he's talking about is very like neutral. You know,
I think it's because I grew up on salmon loaf, and I think I'm the only person
I think you're the only person
who's grown up on salmon loaf.
in the world.
You ate a loaf of salmon?
It's like meatloaf. My mom made meatloaf, but instead of with beef, it was with salmon.
Dude, I don't know.
It was delicious. You've
I've-
tried it. You've tried it.
Yes, I
feel,
have.
and it was good.
You tried salmon loaf?
You know it was good.
Well, his mom would make it.
It was good.
It was fine.
It's the only way I would eat salmon.
Listen, you grew up with that, and you have nostalgia for it, and I appreciate that.
I don't.
But I never heard of salmon loaf before you, and
You'll
never
never
heard
hear
of
about it
salmon
after.
loaf since, and it was only okay.
I'm gonna get the recipe. I'm gonna start making it for like dinners.
Please.
Next Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please do.
God.
Salmon loaf.
Salmon.
I will not be in attendance.
Salmon loaf instead of turkey.
Usually, if I say something like that, Andrew will film me. But here we go. So now, if you want to check back on the
Here we
reel,
go.
salmon loaf for Friendsgiving this
Yep.
year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
well,
yeah, it's on. That's
there we
on
go.
tape now.
Here we go.
So we'll do a podcast the week after and see if I make it or not.
Normally, when I film you saying things, it's a positive towards me, but this
After
is
Thanksgiving.
a tough one.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All right, number 4 for me. I don't even think this is in John's tops anymore, but I have still appreciated them. I still to this day love it. Be Our Guest.
oh God,
Yep, I have not. I have not depreciated since their menu change. I actually really enjoy their prefix menu nowadays.
Really?
that's funny.
Now it does change, obviously. So not every few months do I like what they have available, but sometimes I'll go in and they'll have like entree, app, like everything that I want, and I'm just like, all right, I'm going. But the atmosphere is probably the single best atmosphere in all of Disney.
Atmosphere is all they got going for them. Let me tell you something
Oh.
about their ridiculous menu.
Oh God, here we go.
Let me tell you something about their ridiculous
This is one of
menu.
Andrew's points. I've seen his videos.
After the menu change, not only did it change to like mostly foods that I don't like, and like they still have the steak or whatever, but it's not worth it anymore because it's that kind of eating style where you have to you pay a flat fee and then you get an appetizer, entree, dessert. I don't want any of the appetizers. I'll get the steak, and then you know what? Even the gray stuff as the dessert that I used to always get, that changed. That got worse. I'd rather get the gray stuff cupcake at Gaston's Tavern.
It did change. It did get worse. But I will tell you right now, Andrew, if you don't like those prefix meals, you ain't gonna like my next 3.
Okay, I'll agree with you. I thought once Be Our Guest opened that every restaurant going forward would be like that caliber, and while new restaurants are exciting, I haven't seen anything of that caliber. Be Our Guest is a great atmosphere. He's freaking.
I've only
Ever
ever
record these earlier.
I've only ever eaten in the West Wing at Be Our Guest. I've never eaten
And that's rare.
yeah.
That wasn't a throwaway comment, by the way. John said he should have recorded it earlier because the later it gets, I get into
Yeah,
a
he
laughing
gets-
mode and I start crying.
I've eaten in all 3 rooms: the main ballroom, the West Wing, and then the
Library.
Is it the library?
Yep.
Is it the library?
Well, it's the Rose Garden.
It's the Rose Garden.
Yeah.
Okay. And
but
then
it's connected to the
It
library
is
where you take
connected
the
to the
pictures.
library. Well, usually I'll have breakfast or lunch in the
Rose Garden.
Rose Garden.
Yeah.
Because breakfast, lunch, you could choose where you sit.
Oh, you know what? You're right. And
Yeah.
we had breakfast
Oh,
there.
at the Rose
and
Garden.
you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the Rose Garden.
Yeah.
I still stand by it. I think the West Wing is great. It's a great
Yeah.
place to eat. Even the ballroom, it snows outside in the ballroom.
Yeah, no, it's great. Fantastic.
And the prefix meal still it'll have braised beef, which is one of the things I used to have that I used to love. It still has that, what was that soup that the
French onion?
No, the potato leek soup.
Oh, the potato leek.
Which I loved. And then the gray stuff, the original gray stuff was better. The new one's like bigger. It's just different.
They had a wine there that was literally just in that restaurant. It's like the only place you can get it, like the Howling Wolf or something.
Yeah, Joe's brother, Josh. I don't know if you ever talked about him on the pod, but
no,
we'll get him on the pod.
Joe, who was here.
We'll just call him our friend.
Yeah, our friend, our named friend, bought a bottle.
Yeah, that's awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
Great wine. I loved the French onion soup there. I loved the old menu so much, and it became a 2 sit-down which is fine.
No, it's not.
I've gone once at the Prefix. And by the way, we've been to Be Our Guest so many times. Like, sometimes multiple times a trip.
Yeah.
So we're very, we have experience in Be Our Guest. Probably over 15 times we've been. But anyway, I've been once with the Prefix. And I do have to go back. I have to go back. Oh,
I'll pass on it.
When the Prefix first came out and you went, I looked at the menu and I hated it. I knew that there was nothing I would eat. Since then, like I think a year later I looked at it, and every year I look at it, and now I go again.
So they're tweaking it.
It changes constantly. The Prefix menu changes like every 3 months.
All right, I have to.
Chili's does
revisit.
that too.
But
it really upsets me.
But the first time you went and you told me about the Prefix menu, I looked it up, and there was no like meats that I would eat. It was all like fishes. It was all stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
There was no apps I would like. Since then, like I'll go on every time and I'll look at it to decide if I'm going to book a res or not. And the menu is almost always something else, like 3 things I'll eat.
Really?
I mean, all the desserts I'll eat, but
Yeah.
I'm not too picky with dessert.
Yeah. All right. My number 4 is actually it's an interesting one because I love it. I loved it so much. It's the Yak and Yeti in Animal Kingdom. And it's the same owner as Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex, but I think it's where Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex is all about atmosphere, Yak and Yeti just like outshines them. It's Asian food, but I got really great food. I ordered a green tea. They brought me a whole tea kettle. It was just like if you go to like 9 Dragons in Epcot, the Chinese restaurant, that's pretty good sit-down Chinese food. But you leave saying like, oh, my local Chinese place has, I could get a better, like more. But this place, I didn't feel that at all. I felt like it was like a perfect like Asian food dining experience. Love it. Can't wait to go back. We're going to Disney in like 3 weeks, and we're booked there.
Excellent.
Have you been, Andrew? I don't know.
I have not been there, no.
I went there once. John suggested, me and Joe went, and I actually enjoyed it. It's on my honorable mentions, so now I don't have to mention it.
Nice. No, mention it, because a couple things have talked about, even if you just mention it.
Yeah,
but I'll mention it.
I enjoyed it for the one time I went. I don't remember it so well that I could have put it. Like, if I remember a place really well after one time, I know it's a top 5.
Right, fair enough.
I remember it pretty well. I remember had a good drink. Don't remember what the drink was, but it was pretty good. And then...
So funny.
I remember I actually got a more traditional meal there because they did have steaks and stuff there.
Right, it's not just
Asian
Asian food.
Yeah. So I think I got like a strip steak there, and it was really good.
Yeah.
And I had we'll talk about some of my bottoms, but I had gotten a strip steak that same trip and hated it. And I think this one is probably why I remember Yak and Yeti so much better. So I was like, all right, finally a good steak.
Okay. This has been pretty like diverse here. Like, we've all had different...
I haven't heard one from you guys.
The same.
That's gonna, and I don't think I will in my next 3.
I think
there'll be one. There'll be one.
I think there'll be one.
There's one that you and I will both have on.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah.
And maybe Andrew.
So number 3, Andrew.
Well, let's see what his answer.
There'll definitely be one that I think we all have. But number 3, Chef de France.
Ooh,
I know why you looked at me too, because it's usually one of my favorites, and it's not on my top 5.
Not on.
It's on my honorable mentions. I thought very hard about it, and when you get to the next 3, and in fact, it would have taken Yachtsman Steakhouse Place,
right?
And I just wasn't sure.
You wanted to give it to Yachtsman.
I don't know. I've been to Chef de France so much that maybe I'm maybe I've been dulled down to
You're
it.
desensitized.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a shame. It's a shame that you say that because you know what? There's something. First of all, great menu, but there's also something to be said about when you walk in the building and it oozes class.
Yeah,
It does ooze class.
I'm still questioning my placement on that one. That was the tough. Everything in honorable mentions I'm fine with except for that one. It's the toughest one that I put there.
It's not on my top 5 either.
Sometimes,
but I love it.
And you'll have to excuse me if maybe I don't dress the fanciest or whatever, but sometimes I like a nice classy dinner. And that's where you're going to get it.
If you're in the park, you don't need to dress to the nines.
You know what the biggest problem with Chef de France is?
What's that?
There's too many things on the menu you want, which is a good problem to have.
Right. Yeah.
When you for picky people, right? When you go to the menu, I look at there's the steak, there's the braised beef that they always have. They always have that braised beef.
So I hear you, but
or braised short rib. That's what it is.
But when I think of examples like that, my mind doesn't go to. It goes to. What's that place called with the really big menu? That's not the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh yeah.
Are you thinking of Disney restaurants?
No.
Pages of menu.
That's too much.
No, I don't mean it in a bad
But
way. I was meaning it as a compliment. Like their food is so good.
Yeah.
That when I go there, I almost always get the same thing, but I always want to try something different.
Right.
I have a few times. I tried the duck once there.
Yeah.
Ooh, how was it?
It was great.
Yeah, I had a steak there, a lobster bisque, delicious. That braised short rib is Ariel's choice of favorite.
And of course, you got to get creme brulee when you're at a French restaurant.
Obviously,
you gotta.
And they have like a special berry creme brulee that's really good.
Yeah. Well, that was the most. So, piggybacking off of your comment on there's so many things you want to get. Like I got the appetizer. I got I think that was the third most full I've ever been in my life. And the other two we'll talk about in this podcast.
Yeah. We'll get to there.
But that was the third most full to the point where I'm like, I'm not doing very well. I don't know if I can walk anymore.
I know my number one most full.
Yes, so do I.
We're gonna have.
I know my number one most full, and I'm not gonna get to talk about it first. I already know that.
Is it?
Wait, don't.
Okay.
You know what my y'all. If you're all smart enough, you know what my number one is.
I think our 2 and 1 are the same.
I could tell you right now. Oh wait, your 2 and my 1?
No.
I can tell you my 2 is nothing on your list.
Okay.
My 2 is on your bottom.
No. I didn't mean 2 best.
Oh,
I meant second and first most full we've ever been. I think are the same second and first most full. We've ever been.
God. Okay, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Andrew. What were you saying?
Well, I was gonna give a little spoiler about my most full story, but I feel like I should wait on that.
Yeah, we'll let it organically come up. Because I'm gonna wait also.
Okay.
Who just went, by the way?
It was John.
No, you just went with Chef de France.
Never mind, it was me.
Jeez, Andrew.
Paul.
All right, so this is gonna be an interesting one. I feel like I'm coming out with the curveball here. Hoop-de-doo review.
You're lying.
No.
You're lying.
You've clearly never been,
You're
Andrew.
lying. So I can name. No, I'm. Okay, I haven't been.
Why don't you
but
tell
let me tell you right now, I
explain.
can name you 4 restaurants right off the top of my head that I know you would go to before Hoop.
I can only name 2 that I would go to before Hoop-de-doo review, and they're my next 2.
The food? No.
Let me
Andrew,
explain.
Have you been to
It's mine.
Okay, you go.
Hoop-de-doo review. Andrew's never been, so that's why he doesn't understand. Because when I heard of it too, I was like, "Yeah, that sounds dumb."
I wasn't looking forward to it.
No, I wasn't
this
either.
This is gonna be cheesy. This is hokey.
I was not looking forward to it at all. I left that place the happiest I've been in my life. I was like, "So Andrew, first off, bottomless sangria." Bottomless.
He doesn't like sangria.
Oh well, there's your problem in life. Bottomless sangria. First of all. Second of all,
I can't believe he talks to me like that.
I know. Second of all, it's barbecue food like Diamond Horseshoe, but better.
I thought it was just like fried chicken.
No, there is chicken, but there's chicken, there's beans, there's cornbread. It's all Southern food. It's oh my god, it's excellent.
But it look like I eat beans and cornbread.
The dessert is strawberry shortcake. With a good version of it, though. I know there's like sometimes you can make it like it's like the good one with like the biscuit type taste and everything.
I like a good strawberry shortcake.
Oh yeah, and they mess with you like as if you're at Primetime Diner. So we sat
He
down.
hates that too.
I hate that shit.
No, but they basically tell you who's gonna be messed with. So we sat down and it was like 6 of us, and he brings out 7 drinks and he puts one in the middle. He goes, "That one's for me," and then like he doesn't come back to the table for like 20 minutes. And Joe was thirsty and had finished his drink, so he's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna drink this drink." He put it there. He must have been joking. He put it there for someone.
Yeah.
So Joe drinks it. This guy immediately comes out of nowhere, like as if he was watching from behind the scenes. Comes out and he's like, "Who drank my drink?" And then the rest of the night, he's messing with Joe. He took a napkin and made a hat out of it, and was like literally forcefully pulling Joe's head around
It was
the table.
so funny how much hate he gave to Joe, and the fact that it was Joe
Made
that
it
he
work.
chose.
Yeah,
Joe,
it was great.
Joe, the
Right.
person who was on our podcast.
And
sorry.
Andrew, it's a whole show, like with actually really good actors and singers.
Yes.
Like better than this is no offense to anyone who work, but better than the ones who work in the parks a lot of the time. Like they're like
Yeah.
really good, like Broadway quality people, like people who work as actors for a living. Like it's really good stuff.
Okay.
And I'll
Okay.
just second that, where the food itself could just be like, here's the basic fried chicken, but it's all delicious.
It's really good
Yes.
chicken. Like and it's family style, so we got lots of it. Like it just,
Yes.
I was like, keep it coming.
Yeah, no, I support you having that on your list.
Yeah, it's when we started making these lists, it was the first one I thought of because I knew obviously my top one and it's always in my head.
Yeah.
But the first thing I was thinking of outside of like my top 2, I was like, Hoop-de-doo review.
Yeah.
Because when I left there, all I've wanted to do since is go back, and all that's happened is COVID.
Yeah.
I think they just opened back up like a month or 2 ago though, so I think they have. Maybe they're not yet, but if they are, I'm going.
I don't know. You let me know. I'm going in 3 weeks.
I think I checked
you
when I
let
was
us
there.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah, I think I checked when I was there, and they still weren't open, but I could be wrong. I also don't like to go to Fort Wilderness if I can avoid it.
You know, since that trip, there was a soft spot in my heart for Fort Wilderness.
Oh my God, no. Dude, if you want to walk, if you want to do a park's worth of walking at your resort.
Dude, when we planned each other's day, I stationed him at Fort Wilderness.
Oh, so you were like trying to make it a bad day.
Well, we started off like, hey, we'll do a
I
little
planned
good, we'll do a
nice-
little bad, and it ended up being like a...
I like planned nice activities, and he was attacking me, and I had to rearrange my day for him because he
my
was
God.
being mean.
I would
we gotta
not
do more of
I
those.
when I think of Fort Wilderness, that's like where I would send my worst enemy, like someone that I hate so much.
I would stay there again, to be honest with you.
I would stay there for $10, and I would stay there if I wasn't going to the park,
What an
and I
odd
wanted
number.
to.
Yeah, right?
I wanted to see what it was like to rough it. Like if I wanted to see what it was like to not go to a resort.
Like to camp?
Yeah, like if I want to see what it was like to try to survive.
rough it?
Yeah, if I want to see what to survive without any means, that's where I would go.
Okay, fair enough.
Look, it's just I know I'm dissing it a lot here. It's just it doesn't feel like Disney. It feels like I went to it feels like I went to New Hampshire.
Yeah, because when we went there, the welcome place, like, you know, you go into like the, you know, anywhere, there's this like giant lobby and all this, like so many people. There was just like this little building, and I walked in. I'm like, is this where we check in? Like, yes. There was nobody in there.
And you have to take a bus to the park.
Yeah.
That's why, I think
Or-
that's why he put me there.
Bus
Or a bus to the boat.
to the boat.
And
to
the boat is sometimes the only way.
Dude, for again, this is like repeat, but like when we planned each other's day, I said you're at Fort Wilderness, basically at the cabin we stayed at, where you had to bus to the boat. But I said you have to rope drop Magic Kingdom, so we had to like get up real quick.
The only good thing about that resort is
Andy rope dropped just to get a haircut.
the only good thing about that resort is if you're someone who's active when you're on vacation. I like to run, so it has the best running track because you could run for 6 miles and
Yeah,
not get around that
You'll
whole
see like
whole area.
you'll see deer and stuff. You'll see like wildlife.
You get lost. There's a few times I ended
Yeah.
at like a dead end road with woods, and I was like, "Where am I?"
Sounds terrible.
Crazy.
Yeah. But
Hoop-de-doo review is
Hoop-de-doo.
the highlight of Fort
Oh.
Wilderness for sure.
for sure,
I just don't believe you.
Well,
you have to go. We will go. We will plan a trip. I think I want to go again, either in November or January. And if it's January,
Okay.
we'll go down and we'll all do Hoop-de-doo review. We've been talking about doing a guide trip.
I could make January work. I
Let's
can't.
let's do January.
I have school
I mean,
this year, but
so guy trip wise, I think I'm going back to Disney in February after this September trip. So I'm totally down for a guy trip, but it would have to probably not be right in January.
I mean, we could just do a sports.
We're
I
like-
literally,
It
we're
could just be me
planning.
and you two.
We're
dude,
planning.
I literally
yeah,
went
you
to
guys
Disney
could
for
just go.
$500 last week. If you find the right week, and you
Oh,
go,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you go to
yeah.
All Star Sports, which for some reason is the
Well, it's not a
cheapest.
matter of like my work schedule. We don't have to plan this right now.
We're planning it for them.
Well, usually I try January's busy.
So, John, next.
I don't know if we're gonna get to our bottom.
Yeah, right.
It's been about an hour already.
It's fine. I think one of the ones with Joe ended up being like an hour and 40 minutes.
We're not there yet.
Crazy. Yeah.
I'm keeping note of the time.
Okay, so
We'll cut the filler out.
So here's this. So I feel like I'm already at a point where I'm going to say somebody else's. So I'm going to say a couple of things about it, but then back off, because if somebody else has it, we can expand a little more.
I'm gonna
okay?
do a bold prediction, and I won't say it until the end. But he's gonna tell me. He's gonna say my number one.
Okay. So my number 3 is Ohana. And that's saying something, because Ohana's phenomenal and probably Paul's number 1. But
We'll find out at the end.
Yeah. So the first time, no, not the first time I went. Well, the very first time I went, I didn't realize it was Ohana. Went to breakfast, Lilo and Stitch breakfast, right? And then when we were there, and we like randomly, I think it was your brother Dom. It's like, Ohana's real good, and we're like, Dom.
No, me and Dom had went there, and we had
never-
remembered it,
Oh.
and we wanted to go, and you kept being like, I went there once, it wasn't that great.
Yeah,
I was
because
like-
I remembered the breakfast.
I was like, and I was probably being classic Paul and being like, I doubt you went there if that's your opinion.
right.
Yeah, Dominic has questionable opinions. Didn't he also say his favorite parade in Magic Kingdom was Move It, Shake It?
It is his favorite parade.
That's his favorite parade, and he also said that his favorite restaurant is Raglan Road,
Yep.
where he had the best scallops of his life.
he likes to go there for the step dancing.
Yeah, I've been to Raglan Road, and it's not on either of these lists.
You can have a conversation
No.
with my brother. It's my brother. My brother Dom. You have a conversation with him. It's like, hey, you see that new restaurant that just opened up? Whatever it may be. I don't know. The Edison. He'd
Yeah.
be like, I don't know, but have you been to Raglan Road? And I'd be like, yeah, but have you been to what I just mentioned?
I would love to have him on this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we went to Ohana, and my mind was blown. Like this all-you-can-eat skewers of chicken, shrimp, steak, the whole 9. The pot stickers, I could get full off of those, and sometimes I do right off the get. I have another funny story, but I'm going to wait till if one of you bring up Ohana again. And one time I went, when it was just me and Ariel, we got the perfect window seat. You could see the castle. Come on.
Yeah.
Did you
I've
be there for
gotten
the
in one of those
fireworks?
seats.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Oh,
Could've, but didn't.
I've sat there for the fireworks. It's awesome.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about Maurice too, but we'll get there because someone else is going to mention Ohana. at some
I
point.
think so.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
It's
You
his number
mean
2.
So now we're starting number 2.
Oh, darn.
yeah. Number 2, Ohana.
All right, let's continue.
Ohana.
Let's
So
continue.
here's the thing. Even in the changes, because they did change, and I will be the first to say that the Ohana chicken was my favorite thing, period. Into dessert, I was still asking if they were still coming around with the chicken. And they since, after, they reopened from COVID and whatnot, the chicken had changed. Have you been there since the chicken's
I
changed?
haven't.
It is now a chicken thigh, and it has what's that green sauce? Remember you put it on your
pesto.
steak?
Yeah.
Pesto.
No, it's not
chimichurri.
pesto, chimichurri.
Chimichurri, and it has a chimichurri.
It was escaping me.
Wait, is this still on a skewer?
so they could bring it over in little like monkey bowls.
They don't do the skewers since the pandemic.
They don't do the
Okay,
skewers.
so that might be a
But-
temporary
But
thing.
let me tell you something.
Maybe.
Let me tell
Yeah.
you something. Still great. Still
Nice.
great.
Nice.
In a different way.
I have to know about this. So my favorite food, period, like you just said, the chicken, period, in all of Disney, the one thing I would eat if you're like, hey, you can only eat one thing in Disney ever again, is the beef from Ohana.
Really?
It's different. It's different. It has a teriyaki glaze now.
What always had a teriyaki?
It has a teriyaki. No, it has a
like more of a thick glaze, like a sugary glaze.
Because obviously, if you're walking around on a skewer, you can't be dripping teriyaki. This is dripping in teriyaki.
I hope
when are
they
you
go
eating
back.
there again? When are you eating there again?
I mean, it's a weird place to go on a solo trip, so I haven't. I'll go the next time I go.
Understood.
I disagree.
Understood.
I'll go anywhere solo.
On the guys trip.
Yeah, they don't have like. It's like they
You
have a
go
lot of big
solo
tables.
and you just like all you can eat.
Yeah,
like the platter.
it just feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Like I know it shouldn't. Like I get it. I go a lot of places solo. I eat at a lot of restaurants solo.
Yeah.
Ohana just seems like a weird one, where the whole motto is Ohana is family, and it's me by myself.
alone.
Like it just seems odd
Fair enough.
to be at Ohana by myself, being like, yeah, 3 more thighs, please.
Fair enough. Another one I'm booked at in 3 weeks.
Nice. I'll pop down
cool.
for it. Make
Good,
it 3.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom.
Make it 4.
Well,
I'll pop
it's
down.
3. Well, me, Ariel, and Sebastian.
Well, make it 5.
Make it 5.
Make it 5. Okay.
Make it
We'll be
5.
down.
Yeah.
We'll be down.
They had the noodles, but then they got rid of them. But then they brought them back.
Oh,
or
the
something.
noodles are excellent too. The
the-
whole
oh, yeah.
appetizer.
The-
Is the
everything
appetizer
is
dish the same?
Same.
Appetizer dish
Chicken
is
wings.
excellent.
Boom.
Not my favorite chicken wings, but good enough.
Not the best, but great.
As
They're
far as
still good.
As far as medium chicken wings go, good chicken wings.
As
Yes.
far as vegetables go, too, they bring out the broccoli and stuff.
Yeah, it's all
Like,
good.
It's firm broccoli. I know
Like,
that's a weird
I
thing to
mean,
talk about,
it-
but it's like nice and crunchy
no,
and good
yeah,
broccoli.
like regardless
Yeah.
of the food, it's a great choice, high on the list. I wouldn't even be upset if it was someone's number 1.
Me either.
Yeah, so we won't talk about it again. We'll continue in case it's on somebody else's
remind us that when we get to it again, if we do, that
If we do.
to tell the story about the desserts, because
list. Of
And
course,
Maurice.
we're gonna tell.
there's
them.
a story about the desserts.
If we talk about Ohana again, we're gonna talk about Maurice, and we're gonna talk about desserts.
Maurice and desserts. Okay. My number 2. My number 2 is actually John's favorite restaurant, Boma. Boma, for anyone who hasn't been, because I'm sure tons of people haven't been.
Oh, that's your number 2.
I
I don't believe Paul. I don't believe him.
you
I don't believe
know
him.
I love Boma.
I do know that. he
Call
loves
my
Ohana.
ex-wife and ask her what my second favorite restaurant is.
Get her on the
Boma's
phone.
just that. Well, hold on. I'll let you talk.
Boma. Okay, so Boma. I'll talk to the viewers.
Boma's just that
Wait.
one. That hold on. I have to say this because we did Ohana. We're like, all right, let's find another one that's like all you can eat. Boma. That should be a home run. It wasn't. Go ahead.
Boma. So the best way I can explain it is the same way I talk about the best way I explain it is the same way I talk about the Food and Wine Festival if I'm selling it to someone.
Yeah.
If you like food, you're gonna love Boma.
That
Like
That's
Food and Wine
such-
Festival. What do I
that
tell you about
is
Food and
not
Wine?
true.
How do I sell food and wine?
That's not true.
How
do you
how
sell
you
food
just
and
said
wine?
it? I don't know.
No.
You're putting me on the
How,
spot.
how do I sell? How did I sell it to Josh one time?
Oh my
Oh,
God,
oh, oh,
that
oh.
was the funniest
Wicked
thing.
funny.
That
Wait,
was-
should we save that though? Because we're gonna talk about food and wine. That'll be a nice little.
Yeah, yeah,
Now you
let's
gotta.
save it, let's
Now
save
you gotta watch the next episode.
We save it.
They have to watch.
Yeah,
now.
I know. We really want to talk about it, but we bookmark it because
Bookmark it.
we're
We're
gonna
gonna talk
literally
about it.
next episode's gonna be food and wine. We'll talk.
You
about
won't
it then.
forget. If we do forget, it'll be very funny.
Food and wine.
There's
yeah.
no way I'll forget.
Okay, so Boma
I forgot
is
about that. Too.
Boma is in Animal Kingdom Resorts. It's in the one that starts with a B. Because there's different parts of the resort.
Kadani,
Nope.
and the other one.
Yeah, it's the other one. But anyways, the food, it's a buffet, and the food is like it's just excellent.
I just can't believe I forgot about it.
Yeah, wicked funny. Wicked
There's like, so you'll walk up and there's like, first off, there's like 4 different spots of meats. So for someone like me, I love meats. There's like usually turkey. There's a carving station. Someone's
prime rib
slicing
and stuff. Yeah.
prime rib. Chicken. I don't get the chicken because it's like legs and stuff, but the turkey is sliced, the prime rib is sliced. I get all of that. Then there's like gravy station. Then you can get mashed potatoes. You can get mashed sweet potatoes, which they literally gave me the recipe for. I asked for it. And
Really?
Yeah, they gave me a printout. I have
Did
it.
they really?
I still have it at my house.
I didn't know that.
I love that.
Have you ever tried to make it?
Nope. I just go to Boma and get it.
yeah.
For the kiddos and for, the kids at heart,
Yeah.
they've got like chicken fingers, mac and cheese, all that stuff. They have literally the best reason why I love this place is they'll have 9 or 10 soups. And I love soup. And there are 9 or 10 different kinds of soups. I'm starting to talk so fast. I got to slow down.
No, you're good.
The last one I got was the oxtail soup, which was so Good. Oh man. And then the dessert station. And I'm not even selling it well enough because there's so many foods I can't think of because there's so many foods.
It's an impressive array of food. It just nothing has stood out to me to even, and I've been twice.
So that was the second. I know you said our first and second. That was the second fullest I've ever been. Was that Boma?
Really?
That one, the fullest I've ever been. We'll get to when I get to my number one. But the second fullest I've ever.
See, yeah, no, go ahead.
The second fullest I've ever been was at Boma, and I was hurting. I think I went to the gym because I don't think I could sleep because it was so bad that I was like, I think we were staying at Saratoga Springs, and I had to go to the gym because I was sore.
Like
I had cramps. I ate way too much.
Oh, man.
My plate at Boma is like it's like 3 or 4 plates
Then he's
on
got like
one
10
plate.
soup bowls.
Oh, their food is just so good. I get to everything and I'm like, well, I have to take some of this. Their veggie station's great. They usually have like steamed asparagus. They've got broccoli. They've got cauliflower there.
Damn.
Like they just have a great array of food. And for
Really?
someone like me, and honestly, for someone like you, it's a picky eater's paradise. That's probably why John doesn't like it. It's all the type of food that we
Is that
eat.
true? Is that true?
The soups are
to
picky.
a-
The
to a-
soups are picky,
to a
but
degree,
everything else is very
Picky
normal.
Eater's Paradise, sure. Yes, it's got like the mac and cheese. It's got the chicken. Like it's got the neutral foods.
You would love it.
No,
Didn't
no,
know that.
I'm not. So you've never been.
No.
You haven't been.
And the drinks.
You may like Boma. You may
Enough
like
with
Boma.
the drinks,
But
dude.
here's how
I do know what I got there. I got a rum and
Coca-Cola
coke.
is a Coca-Cola.
I got a rum and coke. I got a rum and coke there.
Now I compare Boma to something that's actually on my bottom, but I will.
oh,
save
really? Because that's
that.
in my honorable mentions. The one that you're
Save
about to say.
Save
All
it.
right, we'll talk. We'll talk later.
One that John has in his bottom is in my honorable mentions. Clock that down now. It's my second prediction of this podcast.
Okay.
We'll see if my first one comes true when I get to number one.
Okay. Okay. So, anything else on Boma, or should I go with my number 2?
No, it's your number 2.
I mean, you
Okay.
already ruined your list because your number 3 was Ohana. So.
Well, this is where the
I know what your
personal
number one
preference
is
come out.
anyways.
I don't disagree with Paul.
I don't think you know. Well, no, I don't think you know what my number
So
one
then
is.
I know what your
Well,
number
let's
2
hear
is.
what-
You know what my number
Oh,
2
okay.
is.
Oh, what is it?
Le Cellier.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
thought
what you
was
thought
one.
was. my
That
number
was
one.
his old one.
It was my old one, but something has topped it. But Le Cellier,
Now
the
I'm
atmosphere,
thinking.
you know that I like the darker atmosphere, and Le Cellier is like you're in a cellar, the cellar. Fantastic scallops. Haven't tried Raglan Road's scallops, but fantastic scallops for the appetizer. The cheddar soup, come on. You got your that filet mignon over the wild mushroom risotto. For a while was my best dish, my favorite dish of all time. And when I was not in Disney, I would be upset when I couldn't have it because the flavor was so darn good. Is it too little bright in here?
Yeah, I got a little bright.
All right, and
Are those your
and the poutine.
Ray-Bans?
No, they're not. I thought about bringing those, but I don't want to damage them.
The what?
The Ray-Bans, the Disney Ray-Bans.
Oh, you should have brought them.
Yeah, right.
I have 2 pairs now. I got the monochrome ones.
Yeah, I know. The ones you're going to give it to me?
No, I told you I'd give you that free pair I got from Amazon.
Yeah, they're super cheap.
Hey,
ass.
last time he got like 2 things from Amazon, he like returned the other one for money instead of giving it to me.
No, actually,
that was
the last time I got 2 things, I gave it to you, John.
That's not true.
It's a calendar countdown, a Disney Disney
you're
countdown.
Right, you're right.
Yep.
No, but you know what I'm talking about. The
You talking about
Thomas
the
Kincaid.
Yeah. Well, we don't need. I don't know how illegal it is. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah. That was.
We're
yeah,
getting a little
yeah.
too into our like everyday.
So
Someone sent me 2 things. I sent one back and got a new one.
we'll bookmark that for the police and John.
They ain't watching this.
Le Cellier has some of my favorite. It's probably my overall favorite atmosphere. Right along with Ale and Compass. And I'm not talking about theming. I'm talking like atmosphere.
The dark
Right,
lighting.
right.
Yeah. No,
I enjoy dining in that kind of atmosphere. And the food is top notch for me. And that Yachtsman Steakhouse isn't even on my honorable mentions. Maybe it should have been, but
it almost slipped my mind too.
Yeah.
I just happened to remember I was walking through Yacht
Yeah.
Beach Club because I like to take that stroll.
Yeah. But even with that said, I would choose that Le Cellier filet over that amazing steak at Yachtsman Steakhouse, just probably because of that pairing with the risotto. Yeah, the poutine was.
I'm not going
excellent.
to talk too much about Le Cellier because I have a feeling it's going to show back up later in this.
Really?
Yeah, it could be an honorable mentions or something. So I'm
Okay, understood.
yeah, it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be somewhere, I think.
Okay.
Later on.
All right.
Oh yeah, interesting.
What's your number one?
We doing number one?
Wait, hold on. We're doing honorable mentions.
Oh yeah.
Honorable mention number one. Sci-fi diner.
Interesting.
Or dine in. Is it diner or dine in?
I think
Diner.
it's dine in.
Oh okay.
No, because it's like a drive-in.
Yeah.
You know.
So here's the thing: the food is garbage, and that's why it's also a that's why it's also a dishonorable mention.
You
a
got it on
both.
both. You got it on both.
The
of yours?
I do.
food
That's funny.
is garbage there.
I almost
But-
did something like that. I
Yeah.
almost did a yeah.
So it's on both lists because the food is garbage. But I'm a movie guy. I know, Paul, you're a movie guy, and it's just it's where
cool.
it's where I want to be. It's just my kind of atmosphere. Just like how you said that's your atmosphere. Sci-fi is my kind of.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's not on my bottom.
And actually, that's the only honorable mention I have. So.
I will.
Okay.
No, I'll save this because it's gonna show up later. My honorable mentions are, and I think John might have some of the same ones. Restaurant Marrakesh.
Oh, that's that's unfortunate. It doesn't even exist anymore.
It doesn't. What's
no,
there
because
now?
Morocco's like a ghost town. You got the Spice Road
GT.
table still open.
I thought they reopened. I think they reopened the restaurant.
Did they?
I-
If they did, I'll let you know. I'm
Someone
going
was
there
talking
in
about it
a
when
few weeks.
I
Let
could
us
be wrong.
know.
I overheard someone talking about it. I thought they said it had reopened, but they might have been talking about something else.
If that's true, that would have made my honorable as well. It's freaking great.
Yak and Yeti, we talked about that. Chef
Yep.
de France. Liberty Tree Tavern,
Yeah.
which
Really
was a
good.
tough one to not put in my top because I really enjoy
It was
Liberty
like
Tree
really
Tavern.
good. It was
It's and this is going to be weird because you're going to be like, how's it not in your top? It's only because the theme and the atmosphere isn't so over the top that it makes me so happy to be there.
right.
But it's probably one of the top, actually not probably, it's definitely one of the top meals I've ever had in Disney.
Yeah.
And we went and we just had a grand old time.
It was great.
It's the only place I've ever had a warm
Cider.
a
spiked
cider. I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
had. And not like obviously you can get warm cider and spike it. It was a warmed canned it was a draft.
Very
But it was like a
interesting.
warmed draft. It was so good.
Yeah.
Um
Really,
Interesting.
really good place. Like 100%.
yeah, love
Yeah.
that place. So
Yeah.
recommend it. And then Beer Garden.
Ah.
Yep, which I think is going to be on John's bottom.
No.
Oh,
I love
oh, you
Beer
do?
Garden.
That one was very, very tough. So that was in my top 5, and
Yeah.
I removed it for
Really?
Yachtsman Steakhouse. I actually switched it, removed it, switched it, removed it, because the atmosphere is so good there.
Really.
The food is just good, though. It's not like I don't go there and I'm like, this is the greatest food I've ever
Right,
had.
right.
It's a lot.
Like you're satisfied. It's good.
It's good.
But it's not like-
it's good.
yeah.
It's just you don't walk out saying, "Hey, I had the best dinner of my
Right,
life."
right.
You just say, "Hey, I had some good food, but what a cool atmosphere with shows."
For sure.
So that's where it gets tough on that one. And then my last one is Mama Melrose.
Your honorable mention
I
is
think
Mama
I think
Melrose?
that might be in John's bottom.
Yeah, I do like John hates Mama Melrose,
Yeah.
but he never orders the right food there.
Maybe not. Well, no, yeah. The first time I had a steak, and I'm like, it's like at an Italian restaurant. But
It
the
holds.
second time I had like a
Mama Melrose is a sentimental place. It holds that place because that's where we went on our first guys trip.
yeah.
And back then they used to do this thing, Andrew. This was before your time.
Oh yeah.
But they used to do this thing where if you were on the meal plan, you got a special meal. It was like a special prefix meal that was the same price
Yeah,
as
so weird.
as like anything else you would get.
It's called the Phantasmic.
Yeah,
Pass
But
no,
package.
you got
I-
the Phantasmic.
I don't know. You know, your arrogant comment that you just made was absolutely incorrect because it was not.
They still had the Phantasmic pass.
Yeah, in fact, we were going to do it, but Phantasmic was canceled that night.
Was I there for that? Is that why you're looking at me like that?
Yeah.
I probably don't remember because Phantasmic was canceled. I didn't get to go to.
So
My
that
bad.
yeah, and that's if I'm something. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember if like we had already selected it or do you have to select it while you're there?
It's while you're there.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
opt for
They
it.
don't
That's
even
why I was so
offer it
upset
because here's the
I
thing.
ate at Yeah, go ahead.
And I can even confirm it because our brother Josh, who was the fourth member of our guys' trip, has never seen Fantasmic because that's when we were going to see it.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
And the weird thing is they don't ever offer it to you. You have to like ask
You
for
have to
it.
ask because I
Yeah.
ate at Hollywood Brown Derby, and it was after the meal that I found out, oh, yeah, if you had asked, you'd have gotten a free app and Fantasmic. I'm like, what?
Free app and dessert.
And dessert, yeah.
Well,
but
no,
like a whole-
because you always
you get dessert
You get
with it.
one or the other anyways.
You add the app, though.
Yeah.
You like, it's so weird.
Remember
It was
the app?
weird.
There was a mistake one time with the apps. We went to Mama Melrose. It was with Jake. Or maybe it was when we went. But remember we like ordered an app pizza and it was like a full-size pizza? And I don't think it was supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember the next time we went, we were telling them, we were like, yeah. And if you go with the pizza app, it's like a full, because we got full pizzas.
Yeah.
And it came out and it was like this little square. So they made a mistake with us at one point, and they gave us a full-size pizza as an app. And we're like, how are we supposed to eat our dinner with this?
So funny. I do remember that.
Yeah.
The last thing I had there, like I took a bite. I'm like, this is delicious. Then 3 bites later, I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of sick of this.
Yeah.
It's
But
that
if
kind
it's
of
in your
place for
bottom,
me.
we'll get to it again.
It's not in the
Oh,
bottom,
okay,
so
okay.
let's let's talk it out.
All right.
And I gave it thought. Like I had the whole list of restaurants open, and I scrolled through it a bunch while I was up there. So I gave it good thought.
And they're very traditional Italian looking in there, which I love.
Yeah,
It's
the
got the
atmosphere
Christmas
is nice.
lights
The
up
atmosphere
there,
is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I love. It's also right next to the Christmas shop,
And
which I love.
we had great service too, because I am a very picky eater. I wasn't a fan of the. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I at first I got the Parmesan chicken with spaghetti, and I wasn't a fan of the sauce because I'm very picky when it comes to sauce.
Mhm.
And they were like, "Oh, no problem. Is there something else we can get you?" And I was like, "Yeah, can I get the chicken Alfredo?" They were like, "Oh yeah," and they brought me some chicken Alfredo.
Yeah, they're very good
Okay.
there about that.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't hate the place, but it's definitely not in my top.
I've been-
like nowhere near my top.
I don't remember how many times I've been there. I've only ever ordered one entree.
Oh yeah.
It's that same one every time.
What is it?
I don't remember if it was a chicken I think it was a chicken broccoli. I can't remember what the vegetable
Is it
was.
like an Alfredo?
Yeah, but it came with like
I'll have to try that
it
next
came
time.
with like sliced almonds in it, which is what I liked.
Okay.
And it was just so good.
I'll try it next time.
Yeah.
I'm always
Sounds
I'm always
gross.
willing to retry something to see if my opinion changes.
Yep, very good.
Yeah, 100%. My honorable mentions are Wine Bar George. And yeah, the
Yeah.
breakfast is excellent there. The lunch is excellent there. The dinner is excellent there. Dinner and lunch is only 2 options. And then you got like that melted cheese, like that fire cheese that melts on. Delicious. And the appetizers are all great. It's kind of become a staple for me and my family. We'll go there. We've gone there like each time the last like 2-3 trips, and love it. But it's I don't know that it's kind of like a tried and true, and it's definitely better than good. But I think it might be my like number 6 or 7 or something.
Okay.
Trattoria Al Forno, which is on the boardwalk.
Yeah, you love that. I'm surprised it's on your top 5.
And the problem is, when the pandemic hit, I swear the chef went back to Italy or whatever, because we went there during the pandemic, and we were like, this is like Olive Garden. Like, this is not as good.
That's a shame.
It changed. So it's an honorable mention because it has the opportunity to be in my top. Right now it's not, though.
Okay.
And then Hoop-de-Doo Review is in my honorable mention.
Of course,
for sure.
gotta be.
For sure.
You know which one I forgot? Because I wasn't thinking about Disney Springs. Well, I thought about a lot of them, but I always forget because it's so far away from the restaurants.
Mhm.
Polite Pig. I know you haven't been there.
That is a quick service. I know you can sit down in it, but there's no reservations to be made. That is so.
Well, you don't have to make a reservation.
But we can include it in our top
All right.
5 quicks. You know
well,
what I'm
now I
saying?
got to change my list because they're so good there.
Yeah. Well, every time I walk by there, it smells delicious. Never eaten there.
I just feel like quick service.
Same.
in 3 weeks. I'll
Quick
tell
service usually. Quick service
You
usually.
gotta
has a
walk right by it. You know it.
I know.
Yeah, but when I think of quick service, I think of a smaller like prefix menu. Polite Pig's menu is massive. Like,
That's
it's,
fine.
It's like there's like appetizers, salads,
Yeah, but
entrees, desserts.
Wolfgang Puck Express was that way. It had a
it
bunch.
was still small. Wolfgang Puck's was still small. It was like a small version of their full menu. So they had like if you
Right.
looked at pastas, they had 3 choices. Like if you had looked at this, they had this many choices. Plate Pig is a full menu.
Man, it counts because it's a $1 sign. It's no reservations can be made.
I'll put on quick service then.
Put it right next to Starlight Cafe.
But obviously, before we do the quick service episode, we'll chat logistics.
Yeah.
So number one,
we're talking number one now.
We're talking.
This
number
is
one.
nothing to shake your head at.
I don't even know if I can guess Andrew's number one.
Hold on. I don't know if I can either.
Let me think real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Give me 2 seconds.
All right. Do your thing. Do your thing, gentlemen.
You talk while we're doing it, so it's not boring.
So here's exactly what's gonna happen here. They're gonna think they're gonna.
Oh.
Oh.
Hold on.
They're both. Paul's definitely not gonna get it. John might get it because I feel I've told him once before.
Boathouse.
Oh, he's right.
So.
Oh no, you're not right. You're not right at all.
And why is he not right?
You didn't have a great boathouse experience.
I didn't have a great.
You got it to go.
On my way to Boathouse, the first time I've been to Boathouse, on my way.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking of it.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
I got very bad heartburn. So bad that we ordered. I thought it was gonna go away, and when the food came out, I was like, "Just box it up. We'll go." And I ate it in the hotel.
Man, I know what it is. I'm not going to say it because
right.
I know what it is, and I think you've said it on the podcast before.
Let's hear
Go
it.
ahead.
STK.
Okay, so I was just thinking about STK. I purposely didn't put them in because they're a chain. So because I can go there in New York, you know what I mean? But
I want to go to STK then in New York.
But before I'll let you say your whole thing, I'm just going to say right here. STK is by far and away, to this day, the best steak I've had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yep.
I think it's a Michelin-recognized restaurant in Orlando.
It's absolutely excellent. I only left them out because I know they're there, but in my head, when I'm thinking about places I want someone to go, I want them to go somewhere they can't go somewhere else.
Fair enough.
I don't know how many there are, but there's probably 4 or 5, and there's not that many. It's like a small chain, but I know there are a chain. Excellent.
So
food.
here's the thing. I very much agree with you as far as I can easily go somewhere else for it, and that's why I don't frequent Rainforest Cafe, Planet Hollywood, these things. But here's the thing about STK. It's very much, to me, and I know there are other locations, but to me it's a Disney thing because I am not going to go and seek out an STK in my everyday life. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it when I'm on vacation, when I'm going to splurge a little bit. And in Disney Springs, you want a nice steak, you walk inside, you know you're going to get a great steak. And you walk inside, very classy, very fancy, very dark place, but it's not super classy that you feel bad. Like, I wore jeans and a button-up still, but you're not going to feel bad if maybe you forget to bring some nicer clothes because the music, there's still like a more casual music going. And, that kind of makes it like this place is fancy, but you know what? I'm not going to feel bad.
So I went there before you, and I think I probably suggested that you go because I remember when you went, and we were talking about restaurants for a while before that.
Yeah.
And I had gone 6 months prior. I went in March of last year, 2021, and that's right, March of 2021. And man, so they let you customize. Actually, can I tell a funny story about that place?
Please.
Okay. So I went with my buddy Josh, the one that we talked about with
the
Rise
of the Resistance. Yeah.
So we went there to eat, and there was so many funny things that happened there. One, they were like looking at the menu, and we're like, oh man, they have like a Wagyu beef. It's like a $250 fillet or whatever it was, sirloin, whatever it was. And then the guys were asking about it, and he's like, yes, we also have another Wagyu that's not on the menu.
Oh yeah.
It's a cow that's been shipped over from Japan, raised in America with olive branches, and he goes through this whole thing, and he's like, would you like that? And I'm like, well, if this one's $250 and all of that went into that steak, I'm pretty sure I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's probably like a $500 steak. So we passed on that. I got the filet. I loved that they let me customize. So I did I love peppercorn. So I did a peppercorn crusted filet with peppercorn sauce on top.
That sounds delicious.
Got the asparagus. It's the only place I've ever seen the asparagus this thick.
Really?
Like it was this giant asparagus. And then I always get cream spinach when I have steak, and they had excellent cream spinach. It was excellent food.
Yeah.
I might get exactly that when I go. I haven't been there. That's why I'm not really weighing in.
If you like
Right.
peppercorn, I'm telling you, they let you. Well, hopefully, I think they still let you do it, probably because it has nothing to do with COVID. But yeah, they also have other customizations you'd like better.
Yeah.
I'm not big on. They had like blue cheese crumble stuff like that.
fair enough. Fair
yeah.
enough.
And one more thing I loved about STK, if you look at the sides, you'll see in little asterisks or parentheses or whatever, all sides serve 2. Love that.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't share. If you want a side, you get your own side.
Well, that's traditional for a steakhouse. A steakhouse,
Oh, really?
a good steakhouse, you go to
You buy.
like if you go to Outback, I mean, you know,
You get
they're
you
good.
get
I
a
mean,
combo
no
dinner,
disrespecting Outback, but it's
yeah,
a chain.
but you get a combo dinner.
You go to a good steakhouse. You go to Capitol Grill is really good, and like there's one in Providence,
Del
one in
Fresco's.
Hartford. But yeah, you go to like a good steakhouse. Where did I go in New York? Homestead is excellent. Homestead.
Cheers to Homestead.
Yeah. Excellent. But those places, the food will all be a la carte for the sides, and you order them. They're usually big enough for 2 to 3 people,
Right.
Or for me.
Well, and that's exact. Me and you have the a very similar outlook on that.
Yeah, we got big appetites.
Yeah.
What steak did you get?
I got the filet.
Okay, did you do anything special to it, or
No, it was the filet with like a garlic butter or something.
It was a spoon fillet. You could cut that thing with a spoon.
oh my goodness?
Yeah.
with a spoon, and
All
then
right.
I got the bacon macaroni and cheese as a side, and of course French fries with the filet, and the bacon in the macaroni and cheese, thick bacon. Oh
I
my-
remember their mac. I didn't get. Wait, did I get it? I might have gotten the mac because it was something special. The cheese was like a Gouda cheese or like a.
Yeah,
Was it Gouda?
yeah.
I thought so. It was like because I
Yeah.
remember anytime I see the word Gouda, I'm ordering it.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta try it. 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah,
I'm
go-
going everywhere.
Did you reserve it?
I bet you're
Nah.
not going nowhere.
Well, you can still get a reserve. The reservations aren't difficult to get, but if you go
Nah.
day of, you're not going in.
The thing is, our off day, we're going to Ohana. So
Yeah.
let's talk about more. Let's talk about Ohana more, Paul.
Yeah. So my number one restaurant is Ohana.
And there it is.
There it is.
One, the best. Now I'm not gonna speculate on what they do now or may do again. We're just gonna talk about what I know about them.
Yep.
Okay.
The by far the best beef. Now I said it, best steak I had, but just
Yeah.
beef, like cut up beef, like with flavoring.
Right.
We all know filet. Anyone who knows steak knows filet is not a flavorful steak. It's what you do to it that makes it good. It's the cut. It's really a boring steak if you know anything about steak. But it's delicious. Love filet. But I mean, if you know steaks, you're not getting a filet a lot of times.
Okay.
But the beef you get at Ohana, I mean, I don't know if you can package the magic they season it with, but it's delicious. It's amazing. The fullest I've ever been in my life was at Ohana.
I'm gonna challenge that
I don't know because
I know that. Okay, so I know that I was super full, and then the dessert came, and then I went to the bathroom, and then when I came back, you guys ordered another dessert.
yeah, that's why I was the fullest I've ever been in my life. Well, that was the dessert story, by the way, that we had to talk about. Yeah, so
Oh, yeah, sorry.
they give you this this giant. It's not a small dessert.
No.
This giant bread pudding.
Yeah.
And they put this caramel sauce over with ice cream, and there was 4 of us, so it makes sense we'd be able to eat one. So we ate one, and then we ordered a second one. I don't know if you remember this whole story. So we ordered a second one, and we ate about half of it, and then John went to the bathroom. While he was gone, we ate the rest of it and ordered a third one.
Oh, is that what happened?
It was 3. It wasn't 2.
Oh my goodness.
Because what happened was we had ordered 2 thinking it was funny, and we were like, this is so good, let's get another one. And then when John was in the bathroom, the server comes over, and we had finished it, and she goes, would you like another? And we were like, sure. And John came out, and he's like, what is this? And he goes, we're like, well, she asked if we want another one, and we said yes. And we didn't finish that one. We ate about half of it, though.
So funny.
Wow.
And that was the fullest I've ever been in my life. I contemplated...
You
contemplated puking it up.
So-
I couldn't move.
Well, hold on. Were you more full there than Fire and Ice in Providence? When we had dinner, went to the restroom, came back, had dinner. That was the fullest I've been.
That's a normal day for me.
Yeah.
So I still
Ohana's the
I
second.
still think the Ohana one might have been number 1.
Oh,
just
okay.
that one day with the 3 desserts.
Okay.
Because you see how I eat at Ohana. I eat a lot. I'm eating plate after
That's
plate
true.
after plate
That's
after plate.
true, yeah.
So by the time dessert gets there, I'm not saying I ate more than all of you. But I most likely ate more of all of you
Yeah.
by that point.
Well, yeah, because I'm over here getting full on pot stickers before dinner comes
Well,
out.
that and you eat lighter food. So you like the
Yeah.
shrimp. I don't like shrimp.
You're right.
So when they're coming over with shrimp, I'm saying, nah, I'm getting hungry again. They bring over the beef, which is
the
heavy.
heavier food.
I'm eating the extra
Well,
beef.
remember the time where I think it was you who was like, reserve us a spot. I really want to try the Thai coconut meatballs in Captain Cook's. We go downstairs into
It
the
does sound like me.
Polynesian.
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, freaking great. We go down to Captain Cook's in the Polynesian downstairs, and I order the Thai coconut meatballs. Now the picture was just like this, like this like French fry tray with 3 meatballs on it. I'm like, okay, I could eat that real quick, like kind of like as a personal appetizer because we're in the Polynesian. It comes with it's in a bucket full of rice, and it's like 4 meatballs or something, and then your brother Joey gets like a brownie or something, or Joe Fontaine gets something, and I'm eating, and the thing was we were a couple hours early. I'm eating, and I'm like, damn, I'm full.
Didn't they call us
And then
in?
you text us like, our table's ready.
Yeah, I remember that happening. I was like,
I'm like,
I think I told you guys. I'm like, I wouldn't go eat. Cause,
yeah, you did. You were like, why are you guys doing that?
Well, because I knew that Ohana, I knew how it worked. You go up. It doesn't matter what time your res is. When you go and you check in, like they just put you on the list.
Right.
Which is one of the things I love about Ohana. I love the atmosphere there. Like I know we talked about the food a lot. I mean, the atmosphere. Maurice, so he was so kind.
Cheers to Maurice.
Yeah.
Cheers to Maurice.
So he was so kind that when we saw him for the 3rd time, because we went there 3 years, 3 years in a row. Actually, I think it was 2 years. And then like 2 years later, we went again.
Yeah.
And when we saw him like that 3rd time, he was so kind to like grow his beard out a little grayer to show that time had passed.
Yeah, right.
We took a picture with him. I'll put it on the Instagram page.
Yeah, we had taken we have 2 pictures with him.
Maurice, if you ever see this, man, we love you, dude.
Oh,
You're-
absolutely. Cousin.
I know.
Cousin.
I know we're
He
cousins.
retired.
but- Oh,
Did he?
He did.
Yeah, they told us last. Oh, maybe you weren't there. Maybe it was me and my ex.
Well, I remember that
he
went,
retired.
He went to the
I hope
Spirit
you're
of
enjoying
Aloha, which is no
retirement.
longer open.
I know, and you never got to go, which was an excellent experience.
I know. I'm pretty upset about that, but yeah, Maurice, we love you.
Hope you're doing
Yeah.
well, cousin.
Cousin.
All right. So I mean.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the ukulele and
oh
the view.
yeah,
And
right,
we're
right,
good.
in the view.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, and the Lapu Lapu.
Oh, come on!
How do we
did
forget
not-
that?
We
There's-
should
it's-
be sipping on Lapu Lapus.
We should be
right
sipping
now.
on Lapu Lapus next
We
one.
met- we
next,
messed up.
next.
It's a drink
What's that?
in a
We messed up.
pineapple.
Yeah,
You spend more to have it in the pineapple. It doesn't taste any different, but it's just fun to have it in there.
but you spend that money.
Yeah, but you spend that money on it, and
Yeah, you do.
it gives you a buzz. It's
Come
a
on.
very alcohol. It's probably the most alcoholic
it's
drink in Disney.
maybe, but it's also just absolutely delicious.
Delicious, so good.
Delicious.
I mean, how do you not go to Hawaii and not have a drink in a pineapple?
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I went to Hawaii in March of this year. It didn't live up to
To
Ohana.
the Polynesian, to Ohana.
That's a lie. Actually, I really enjoyed Hawaii. That's for another story.
okay.
All
So,
right.
John, what's your number one?
My number one is flying fish on the boardwalk, and this is one we actually canceled Beer Garden. We were on the trip, the big group trip. We canceled Beer Garden because it was our anniversary. We went to Flying Fish. We had been to Flying Fish once before that, and we've been once since, kind of like our spot. But my goodness, crab croquets for appetizer, steaks for dinner, and or just seafood. Great seafood. It's I think the year we went, it won like the #1 restaurant on Disney property. I don't know what list that was, but like the waiter said it. But then again, Raglan Road, they told us, "Oh, this is the most successful non-chain single establishment in the country." And then I looked it up, I Googled it, and
No.
nowhere in sight.
No.
But anyway, Flying Fish kind of has it all. I'm a foodie, and I think picky as some may be, I think we're all foodies to an extent.
I've been trying to open my
Yeah.
mind as much as I can. Some
Yeah.
things I'll never try, but
Right.
But I've been doing, and we'll talk about it when we talk about food and wine.
Right,
That's
right.
for a little spoiler for the next one. But
Little spoiler.
But we'll talk
You're
about
you're expanding, and I think Andrew, you are too. So
as
I'm
much
really
as I can.
trying,
Some things
yeah.
I just Andrew knows. Sometimes
I'm really trying.
I've been talking about this to people as a joke. I was like, as a picky eater, the most annoying thing you can say to someone is like, why don't you just try this? You think we want to be picky? Our lives are difficult.
I hate being a picky
It is
eater.
not easy to go to a restaurant
it.
and have to, A, not see anything you want to eat, B, have to order everything different.
And
Everyone's
edit
making fun of
everything.
you.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
fair enough.
it's not like it's an enjoyable process. It's just that's what we enjoy to eat.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, long story short,
You can
I don't
donate to
think,
my picky eater charity.
I don't think either of you have eaten at Flying Fish,
No.
but I will say, in short, I don't have to, go long-winded with this. If I want an upscale meal on Disney property, that's my first choice.
As soon as you said it, you had talked about it plenty of
Yeah.
times to me before.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've gone on multiple anniversaries. I think not just that one.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah. So once you said, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I've never
Right.
gone. I know they have steaks, but their theme is seafood. And if I'm gonna go somewhere where the theme is seafood, I should enjoy seafood.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna go to
Mama
Yachtsman
Melrose
Steakhouse. Well, you're not gonna go to Yachtsman Steakhouse and get a fish. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not gonna go to Flying Fish and get a steak. I'm sure it'll be a great steak,
Understood.
but you'll get a better steak at SDK.
Yeah, you're not
right.
wrong. You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
So no disrespect to them. I've been trying to eat seafood. Every time I try, it's still gross.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So that was our top 5. Shall we go?
I think bottom 5 will go quicker.
Yeah, let's
It's a
go.
little funnier,
Let's
but-
go.
All right. Let's go.
All right. So number 5 bottom.
Number 5 bottom.
Mine's good.
Cinderella's Royal Table.
Whoa.
Oh, that was. I should have put that in honorable mentions. I love Royal Table. The only issue with the Royal Table is it's so hard to get into it.
That's
What?
the only issue with it.
And
Pass.
no, the food
So
is
here's
excellent.
the thing. Here's the thing. The menu is too small for a picky eater such
That's
as
true.
me. And the only thing that it has going for it, in my personal opinion, is that you get to meet all the princesses. But then once you do that, there's no reason to go back.
Well, what about the sword that they give you?
Oh yeah.
What, am I going to collect swords? No,
Yep.
I'll take my one sword and done.
I like when they call me Prince.
I'm good on it. I went there once. I don't ever have to
Like
go there again.
the chicken breast with that that has the wing in it or the leg in it.
Oh, the half chicken.
Or the half chicken. Well, no, it was a chicken breast. It was.
Oh, was it?
But it had the leg on it, like a little wing. Chicken breast with a wing on it.
Usually that's called like a half chicken.
I'll pass on it every
It
time.
wasn't listed on the menu as a half chicken though.
But when you go to the land in Epcot,
Yeah.
you get the half chicken. You know what I'm talking about? Was it the same thing?
No. This was small. It was a chicken breast. Picture like a chicken breast with like a little wing on it. I don't know.
I don't
A
think I got
drumstick.
that. I think I got some sort of braised beef or something when I
But it
went
was
there.
over a pea risotto. My goodness.
Oh, then I definitely didn't get it.
Fantastic.
It sounds terrible, and exactly why it's on my top 5 worst.
I remember enjoying it.
Me too.
I have fond memories. It's not a place I would go to often because it's so hard to get into and it's so
Yeah.
expensive. But
But I appreciate,
and
what
as
your stance on
and
it.
as a 34-year-old man, it's an interesting place to go by yourself or without kids.
You got a
Right.
point there.
Imagine, when we were talking about me
Those
going by myself,
princesses-
Ohana. Imagine going to Cinderella's Royal Table
Alone.
by yourself as a 34-year-old man.
But-
Granted, an attractive man, but I mean, still
but
like a man.
well, that's
That's
su-
subjective.
su-
Subjective,
yeah,
rather.
subjective. But also think about
You
our
got all these teens and
think-
20-year-old princesses.
but
like,
Paul,
what's
Paul,
this dude
Paul.
doing here?
think about if we get a guys trip going and it's like say it's the 3 of us. No princess is gonna be excited to walk up to our table.
No, that's a little funnier. One guy is weird.
Yeah, because if you're with your friends, you could kind of like laugh that off.
It's a
but
joke
If
to-
you're alone, you're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Look, and I'm an advocate for go out and do what you want to do, but it's a little odd as a single guy in his 30s to be going to Cinderella's Royal Table, where the only thing you go there for is the princesses.
I mean, I think the food's pretty good.
No, I do
but-
too,
Yeah,
but the
no,
food's
I
good
got,
everywhere.
I got you.
You know?
I got
I don't think there's any
You
reason
go
to
there to
there.
get the kids go
No,
for
you
pictures
go
with
there
the
for the
princesses.
experience with
Yeah.
the princess.
You go
for
there
sure.
when it's your first time at Disney, and then you never go back.
Did we take Josh there?
Josh Fontaine.
No, your brother.
No,
Did we
no.
go?
Oh, John. Oh, no.
Well, we must have if you've been, Andrew, right?
No, I took
No,
Andrew.
John
Oh.
took me. It was just me, John, and Ariel.
Yeah.
All right, interesting choice. Moving on.
Moving on.
Your turn.
Number 5, Le Cellier.
What?
Yeah.
Explain.
Okay, so as a picky eater, Le Cellier is one of the most difficult places I've ever eaten in my life.
It's steak.
Everything
It's a
there had to be.
steakhouse.
There is no just steak. Like it's like, hey, do you want the fillet with the blue cheese on top and all this stuff?
I do know what you mean.
Everything there had to be. I had to make like an adjustment to. Their appetizers were terrible. Now, for me, like the only option I had for an appetizer was the meat and cheese platter.
Oh, we had the scallops.
Yeah, I don't eat scallops. That's
I hate
seafood.
I hate an appetizer where your only option is a meat and cheese
I
platter.
hate
I
an
hate
appetizer
that.
where the only option is meat and cheese.
But
and
it's
there's
not
another
your
one.
only option.
There's another one. I'm going to think of it, and I'm going to yell it out when it comes, because there's another one that I was there last week, and I'm like, meat and cheese. I don't want meat and cheese.
So you know what? Initially, I was like, now I know where you're coming from, but it's a little harsh. But as you're talking, I'm like, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I know.
enjoyed,
You're like,
I
you're like,
enjoyed,
explain.
I enjoyed the
Yeah.
atmosphere. It's fine. But I remember even the desserts were like, there's like nothing special about the desserts either.
The desserts were a little lackluster.
I remember leaving that day going, I'm starving.
What?
And it's very small portions. As a guy like me, you guys know, like, I know there's quality and there's portions, but I mean, you can get both sometimes.
Yeah, but
STK gives you both.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I
Ohana
guess,
gives you both. you
yeah,
know?
but I guess for a picky eater who's not opting for the appetizer, cheddar soup. By the way, come on.
No, it's remember I tried it once. It's filled with onions and they're big pieces
Oh,
of
is it?
onion. That yeah.
Oh.
So it doesn't tell you that. And I also, as a picky eater, put everything in the menu. Like, come on. That's if I was president, you'd be arrested if you didn't put everything in the menu.
If you were president, let me tell you,
Look, why would you not just say it?
we'd have a whole lot
It's
of
cheddar
problems.
cheese with
we'd
big
have
pieces of onion in it.
problems.
Cheddar cheese with
Yeah.
big pieces of onion in it. Just say that.
Yeah.
It's the bacon cheddar onion soup.
Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, it was, I'll give it a second chance, but I will never
Yeah.
go there unless like
So you only
someone
went
else
one
wants
time?
to go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If someone else
I
wants
talked
to
it
go,
up a lot too.
yeah. If someone else wants to go, I'll go.
I want to go.
But I mean, when you get the fillet without the way it's prepared, it's not coming flavorful. So I'm getting a fillet that I get it. Like blue cheese makes it flavor. I hate blue cheese. It's gross.
I mean, the way I get it is just over a wild mushroom risotto. It doesn't have any blue cheese on it.
Yeah, I don't like
You just-
mushroom.
I don't
Well,
risotto.
no, you say, hey, I'll take that fillet. Give me the mac and cheese.
Love me some
Put that
skip the
fillet on top
risotto.
of the mac and cheese. I don't think they have mac and cheese there.
They do.
They do? Okay.
Well, I think it's a
Steakhouse
lobster.
mac
I
and
think
cheese.
it's a
yeah,
lobster
it is.
mac
It
and
is a
cheese.
lobster mac and
Oh,
cheese.
come
It is.
on.
Yeah, there's nothing to eat there.
Well, then,
I was
pass.
Andrew. I
Pass.
was starving. I remember.
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry.
I remember
I'm sorry.
eating this the sides.
I'm not sorry.
And I left there and I was like, where can we eat next?
Wow.
That's tough at just any restaurant, but that's even more tough in Disney.
It's so tough in
I'd
Disney.
be
That's
like,
tough.
hey, here,
That's
go
tough.
get some fish and chips
That's
over
tough.
there, Paul.
And then I'd be like, I don't like fish.
I'm like, well, then you know what?
You know what?
I'll be like, let me grab a blackcurrant cider and just fill my stomach up with alcohol.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Number 5. Sanaa.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here's the
Interesting.
reason.
Okay.
Sanaa has a pretty wild menu that has.
No, it's because the server hated you. That's
no,
why.
I'm getting there. Yeah. So the server. Okay. So hold on. Wild menu, and I didn't have a great time.
Surprise, surprise! Not everyone likes John.
Yeah. I didn't have a great time. I'm willing to give it another try, but
Thank you,
there's
sir.
so much that I haven't tried yet, and there's so much that I had a good experience. I want to try again. I just talking to you guys.
Is that
So
all we got?
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, that's it.
Oh, okay.
hold
Yeah, I
on.
just
I'm
bought
like
one
talking to
bottle.
you guys, and now they're talking to each other, but so they can hear each other, they're talking in the mic at each other.
There's stuff over there, right?
Cheers.
Yeah, we got stuff over there, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, this will suffice for the rest of this episode.
Yeah.
So Sanaa.
I've been talking. Sanaa, I didn't have a great so there's other things that I just would rather go to. So I go to Sanaa. My meal was average.
Everything you just
And
said that
this-
we didn't hear, can you do that again?
No, it wasn't anything
roll back
crazy.
the
I'm
tape.
just
We'll roll back the
basically saying that I'm willing to give it another try, but there's just there's too much to do. So that's on the back burner.
I'm gonna put that
The
right there. No
waiter-
one look at my list.
Waiter's like, I ordered like this lemonade or something, and everybody else got their drinks, and then I'm like,
Well,
when he came back.
don't shortchange the story. He ordered the Buzz Lightyear kids lemonade,
No,
Which I've done that.
and
No,
the waiter was like,
no,
"Do you want it in the
I've done that.
Buzz
no,
Lightyear
no,
cup?"
I've done that before.
So I didn't know it was a kids thing.
You
so
did.
I did not. No, I did not. Because I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll go fun. I'll get this like special Buzz thing with the glow cube or whatever, the lemonade, the Buzz Lightyear lemonade or whatever. And he's like, okay. Everybody else got their drinks. Finally, he came back and I said, and this is how I worded it. And sometimes I would come off rude and I don't mean to.
Yeah.
I say
Every time.
Yeah.
I say,
Yeah.
excuse me, did I order the lemonade from you? Like it sounds condescending, but I was trying to tiptoe and be like respectful. And he's like, yep. And then he walks away. He comes back with his little cup. He's like, there you go, sport. And then like the whole table laughed at me. But then he kept treating me bad for the rest of the time.
It was excellent.
And it was awful.
You do have an act for that, and I know no part of you is trying to be mean at all.
I'm not.
But this is, and there are 2 or 3 more just right off the top of my head examples of something like this.
Yeah.
Coleslaw, ice cream.
Coleslaw.
Oh,
ice
yeah,
cream,
right.
Yeah.
John only does soft served.
That was younger me.
Well, that'll be a story. That's just like the trailer for a story one day.
Yeah.
John
Bookmark
only
that.
does soft served.
We will
Bookmark
we will delve into many more
and coleslaw.
restaurant stories that are
Wait for the
outside of
coleslaw.
this.
And coleslaw. Joe's got to be. Joe's got to.
Joe
coleslaw.
has to be there.
He
for
has
it.
to tell the coleslaw.
Yeah,
story.
yeah. We're gonna
Yeah.
respect Joe here, and we're not gonna tell that.
Cheers to Joe.
Cheers to Joe. We miss you, Joe. We wish you were here. So I mean, that's all I have to say. I'll give it another try one day.
Moving on.
Didn't love it.
Yeah, just be nicer next time. Number 4. Primetime Diner. Let me tell you
could've
something
told
really
you.
quick. If I don't finish my vegetables and a stupid woman comes up to me and says, you have to finish your vegetables or else they're going to take it, put some whipped cream on it, bring it back and be like, here's your dessert. I'll be like, hey, get over here. I'll be like, I know you're just doing your job, but stop it.
They don't.
I don't
They
take.
do that, and they do it to you, John, all the time.
I don't.
Yeah, but
take
I
That's another restaurant that hates John, by the way.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 I can think of. Sanaa and Primetime. I'm sure there's another one.
Yeah, I was lucky to dodge the hoop-de-doo review, but you know, primetime is all in fun, and that's the whole gimmick.
I actually enjoy Primetime a lot.
And yet I don't have fun.
I like the food there.
I've
Yeah, I
liked
don't have
each
fun.
time, and that peanut butter and jelly milkshake. Skaboom.
They're very middle of the road
pass
for me.
on a milkshake.
Like they're very middle of the road. They don't
It's
do anything
middle.
special. Like
I don't milkshake.
I did the stuffed pork chop, and
don't
I tried the
stuff pork chops.
pot pie.
the food's good.
God.
The food's good.
It's
The food
good.
is-
The drinks are good.
It's garbage.
I don't drink milkshakes a lot, so
Same.
I mean, I used to when I was like a child and bigger, but I just don't. I'm not big on milkshakes. I'd rather have alcohol nowadays.
Fair enough.
That's very sad.
Do they have an
But-
alcoholic milkshake?
That'd
probably be bad. That probably wouldn't be good.
I
Sounds
can't
awful.
imagine that being.
Well, you
I
know,
hate
I'm gonna
good at
dairy
all.
I'll
with
invent it.
alcohol.
So and
Oh
here's
yeah, it's
the-
called a
I'll
mudslide.
pa-
It's called a mudslide.
You know, but I'll still pass on the milkshake every time.
That's fine.
No,
I have
I
a
think-
thing
I
about
think they're
melted
good.
ice cream. I have a thing about melted ice cream.
So that's like a 7 out of 10 for me. You know what that means, right? I'd go there.
No, I don't know what that means because your list is out.
A 5. A 5 means.
No,
A 5
don't-
below means you gotta pay me.
Oh,
to
I don't
go.
want you to explain it. I don't want you to.
I'd
explain
go.
It
I'd go.
I want
it makes
you to.
no sense. What's 1?
Oh, I would not go.
So then
Well,
what's 2?
I most likely wouldn't go.
He doesn't even know. He's
He
making this
doesn't
up.
know.
as
Ask
we
me
go.
what 3 is.
What's a
Ask me
3?
what 3 is.
What's 3?
She's hot and she asks me to go.
So it's only a 3
Get outta
if
here
a
with
girl
that
is involved.
Nonsense.
Or it's like, hey, you want to go to. Where's the place I hate again? You want to go to Le Cellier? I'm paying. All right, sure.
So, oh my god. Okay. All right. This is getting
What's
off-
0?
It's a 1 to 10. It's a 1 to 10. There ain't no 0.
Okay, fine.
So okay.
all right. Anyway, what's your
Very bothersome.
prime time?
Yep.
Do you have anything else?
No, don't go there. Stop going there, guys. Let's close this place. Let's
here's-
close it down. Stop going. Stop going. Just don't go anymore.
You can go. You can
Like
go.
he had this like brilliant idea, guys.
If our 82 viewers don't
yeah,
go.
Yeah. Here's what I want to say. we're going to evolve. We're growing.
Yeah.
We're going to affect the masses.
And you said
soon.
82. It's 22 right now. Sometimes we get like 82 views. We're keeping track.
So
But
someone's watching it twice.
somebody's watching. So real quick. Here's what I have to say about primetime in a sentence. I enjoy the food. I'm never excited to go.
Yeah, it's
like when I have a list of reses throughout the whole vacation, that day is never like, ooh, I can't wait.
Why make it?
But when
then?
I'm there, I'm
Well,
like, this
yeah.
is nice.
Why
you
make
know?
it then?
well that, and like if you're like, hey, you want to go to prime time, I'm just gonna respond with, well, is Mama Melrose closed?
Right.
Like, why wouldn't we just go there?
To be honest, I think I'd go to Sci-Fi Dine-In.
No, you go to
before.
Hollywood Brown Derby.
You know what? I went there last time.
Oh, is
in
that why
May.
it's not on your list anymore?
And
John has
it was
his list
every
changes.
restaurant John likes. He's gone to
To in
again,
May.
and then didn't.
Yeah.
Then
He went to
didn't
in May,
like
and it's
it
not good
anymore.
anymore.
So you know what? Enough with that. I don't want
Nah.
to hear that again. Paul.
I never
number
loved-
4. Number 4. Sanaa.
no, really?
No.
Okay, so my experience was different.
It's lower on his list.
They should let you know that certain food items suck. Like I love
You
cheese.
can order this, but it's.
I love cheese, and this was no disrespect to. I know that this is like country of origin. It's obviously not to our palate.
Yeah.
No disrespect. This is a personal choice. I'm not like, I know that the food doesn't suck to people who live in those countries.
I love this disclaimer
But-
that Paul's giving.
Well, yeah, because like it. Oh
yeah,
my
no,
God.
I got you,
dude.
I got
This food, it was called like, I love cheese. It was called like the 3 cheese, and it was like 3. It was described as something that sounded like the most delicious thing I've ever heard in my life. It was like 3 different types of cheeses with like a red sauce over them and like seasonings. I'm like, man, how could you go wrong with that? I went wrong. This thing was 3 blocks of what looked like tofu, but they were some sort of cheese that we don't eat in America. At least we don't sell it at like Stop and Shop. I know that much. And whatever this cheese was,
That's his marker for good cheese.
it
Stop
had
and
like
shop.
this
Yeah.
gelatinous texture, and the sauce was like, I mean, it wasn't Italian tomato sauce, that's for sure.
People are checking out to what he's saying right
Dude,
now.
this
Like,
was-
this is nonsense.
This was so. It was. John, out of a 1 to 10 scale, how often do I not eat what's on my plate?
John.
Like, not finish what's on my plate.
You are known to gobble up.
Dude, I ate 4 or 5 bites and then I ate my ex's food instead.
Wow, it's crazy.
It was gross.
Wow.
So even lower on your list. Wow.
Yeah, and I liked the place.
Wow.
I think if I went there again and ordered something that wasn't called like 3 blocks of cheese,
Yeah.
I'd probably actually have a good time, and it'll probably end up way higher on my list. But for now, Sanaa, take the cheese off the
But
menu.
the thing
'cause
is,
it's gross.
you want to give it a second try, but like when?
Yeah, because why would I go there when Boma's right next door?
And that's a great segue into my number 4.
Boma's literally right next door. You walk out the room, Boma's in the other room. Boma's like the
is
other
it
room.
Boma? Is it
No,
Boma?
it's not.
Oh.
But
No,
Boma,
that's his number 1.
it's the one no. It's the one that I compare Boma to, and that'd be Tusker House in Animal Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, I've never went because John's always like, you going to Tusker House? It ain't good.
Yeah, because Dom
yeah, Dom
was like,
loves
oh
it.
yeah, let's go to Tusker House. It's amazing. And I'm like, then I try it. I'm like if it's anything like Raglan Road, I ain't going. But I try it, and like you went, right? You were there.
I was there.
We had dinner. It was like this buffet. It was like African food, just like Boma.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as Boma, because Boma's not on my.
It's the first time John said the word Boma and good together.
Yeah, right. Boma is not on my bottom list.
Interesting.
But Tusker House is.
So you'll go to Boma with me?
I got sick
John.
after Tusker House.
Same.
Go to Boma with me?
There were there were 2
maybe.
things I've
Give it a shot. You've only been once, right?
No, twice.
I'll go to Boma with you.
You're gonna love
I
it.
said I'll go.
There-
You're gonna love it.
I mean,
there-
I'll never say no to food.
There were 2 things that I've eaten in Disney World that I've eaten and have not felt good after, both of which came from one came from Paul, one came from his brother Dom.
I don't suggest
Dom was
anything that's
Tusker
not
House.
good. Oh wait, no, we're gonna talk about that in the quick meal. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly.
I almost snapped on him.
All right, so wait for the quick meal episode.
I'm right? I know exactly what it is.
What is it?
I know what you're talking about.
No. Oh, is that
Okay.
it?
But my head was going to Sci-Fi.
Oh,
But I know-
I would have never told you to go sci-fi.
Listen to me. You went to sci-fi. Me and you went together. You went to sci-fi. I was going to sci-fi the next day. You said, get the meat platter.
There's
So
no
I
way
did.
I told you that.
I wouldn't have
oh,
done
you
it.
know what? I did tell you that. I
Yes, you
remember.
did. Oh, I know.
I don't know why I told you that because I hated
don't-
the meat platter.
Well, this is news to me.
I think I was telling you that there was a lot of food in the meat platter.
And you
It was
can no
all
longer-
junk food.
Don't talk right now because
Ooh.
this is going to be
Oh, yeah.
this is going to be purely for John and the audience. So I swear to God, if you say one word while I'm telling this story,
Tell the
John,
story. Tell the
yeah.
story.
an audience. Paul went to sci-fi. I was going the next day. Paul said, "Hey, I got the meat platter. You gotta get it." So the next day, the next day, I was like, "Oh, I got," and I'm reading the menu. And I was like, "Oh, pulled pork. There's a cornbread.
Sounds
the
bad. It sound
chicken or
meat
whatever." It was, and then I got it.
It was ribs, chicken, and something else. Sausage, I think.
There was something wrong. There was something
There
wrong.
There was something wrong.
And like right down to the meat and the sauce, there was something wrong. And then I didn't feel well, so what I did was I purchased a huge bag of cheddar popcorn.
That'll help.
I ate the whole thing, and then I had to leave Hollywood Studios because I felt so sick. We watched Fantasmic on my phone in the hotel room.
I must have been with you at the hotel, right? Though, because that was if I was there at the trip,
You stayed with us in the hotel
like the next nights, right? The last
few nights because
my hotel ended.
Your hotel ended, yeah.
Yeah, so
you were not.
I
there
wanted to
at
stay
the
at Disney longer, and I had an annual pass,
Got it.
and he was there at the same week. So I'm like, hey, can I just stay with you for like 2 nights?
time. We had 4 people, 1 bed.
Yeah, 4 people. And a 1 king bed, which you never get at Disney. You always get the 2 double, the 2 queens.
Yeah.
Nope, 1 king bed with 4 people in it.
Yeah, it was a
2 X's in it.
Great time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
That story has
It-
2
it's
ex-wives.
actually yeah. So that story does have.
So
yeah.
you got sick
But-
at.
It's actually a bigger story than I'm telling, but I'm not ready to tell the whole story.
Okay, you can go
Has to do
on
with
with
the
your
bathroom,
what do you
Yeah,
want your
yeah.
number 3 because like that's what I had to say about Tusker House is I got sick, so I guess I
And no
would
one really
try to
knows
get one
Tusker
day.
House, so we can move on.
And
no
I'm
one's
sure,
eating there.
Yeah, right. And I'm sure I'm sure it was a fluke, and like I'm sure not a million people got sick that
It's
day.
no fluke
but I
that you
did.
can get a reservation anytime for Tusker House.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
saying. Okay.
All right, number 3.
You
Number
can get it, you can get it
3.
an hour. You can get it 10 minutes before.
You
You're
can
like-
walk up.
You walk up, you're like,
walk-up
hey,
list.
let me
Hey,
get a res
you-
real quick.
yeah.
Number 3. Be our guest.
Jeez,
It used to be in my
Bullshit.
top favorite.
I can
until
name
the
5 restaurants you would go
Paul,
to.
No, you can't.
You would go to Be Our
no,
Guest
you
before.
Can't. No, you can't.
I can
No,
name
you can't.
5.
Name one right now.
Flying fish.
Go. Paul, listen to me. No, you're wrong. You're wrong, Paul.
You don't know if you haven't been there.
John, you're wrong.
I'm agreeing with you.
Raglan Road.
Paul, you're wrong.
He hasn't been
Listen
there.
to me. Listen to me. When that menu changed, you're paying top dollar for food that you're not. It's same thing like you with Le Cellier. I'm going to leave hungry, and I'm paying top dollar to be there.
No, because with the prefix you
You
get
can't say
you get
no.
an appetizer.
He can't
you get
say
an
no.
appetizer and a
He's
dessert.
saying that he
He
wouldn't
can't say
eat
no.
it.
I'm not going to eat it.
Yes, but you haven't looked at the menu. I don't think since it's changed again. Pull up the menu right now. I will bet you $5. I'm not going too crazy right now. That if you pull up the menu,
Funny enough, is right.
you will
nice.
you will eat at least one of the entrees, and you would be like, that looks really good.
All right.
Say them out loud. And
Put your money where your mouth is. So I'm always going to. Okay, ready? Okay.
well, let me. I don't know if it's gonna be $5.
$62 per person for adults. So
We're not
this is
talking
what
about
we're.
money.
Do you mind? What do you have? $1?
I have 2, so I'm betting you $2.
Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, $2. Fine. I think I have $2. We'll bet $2.
Just read the entrees.
Appetizers.
Read the appetizers.
Appetizers. French onion soup.
Gross.
Pass.
Yeah, pass.
I love it.
Country seasonal salad. Pass.
Pass.
No.
Duck and pork.
Terrine.
Terrine? Is that word?
Sounds good. I would just say no whole grain mustard. It says
No whole grain mustard.
Served with Parmesan dusted. What's that word?
It says whole grain mustard. Served with Parmesan dusted lavish.
Lavush,
This is so embarrassing for you guys.
frisbee, and whole grain mustard.
Where are you reading that?
I think I'll pass on it.
No, you would eat that without the mustard. It's
Frisee.
just beef.
Paul.
Wait, what else we got up there? Hold on.
Okay, and then we
Escargot.
You don't
got
need to read them all.
we got
I'm just saying,
escargot.
well, where are the
Escargot.
apps?
Hold on.
Paul, right there. Potato-
potato
leek soup. Boom.
Stop.
With caviar.
This is my thing. Please, everybody.
All right.
Escargot. Hop ass. Okay. Potato leek soup. I don't soup, Paul.
Okay.
I don't soup.
Well,
I'm not
you would
gonna
eat that meat.
We're
then.
getting there, John.
Don't
Okay.
look at
Herb
that first
salted
one.
pork. Okay. We should even skip the entrees because I'll just get the fillet.
Okay,
on.
but even if there wasn't a fillet, wouldn't you eat, let's say,
Hold
the chicken,
on.
right?
Hold
Um,
on.
And if there wasn't chicken, you'd eat the pork tenderloin. There's three options you'd eat.
But it doesn't matter because I'm not going to eat any of the sides.
Can I say
So
something?
I'm going to leave there.
You know what a
hungry.
Yukon potato is, right?
I'm not going to eat it.
You eat potatoes.
Paul. I'm not going to eat it.
Yukon potatoes are delicious.
I
They're
don't
French
care
fries.
what you think, John.
They're yellow
I'm
potatoes.
not going to eat it, Paul. I don't care what you say. Any of the sides, I'm going to eat the steak, and I'm not going to have any of the sides. I'm going to leave there hungry, and then look at this dessert. Look at the dessert.
Yeah,
Maybe-
it's delicious. Vanilla cake with lemon curd.
Well, that
Dark chocolate truffle.
Yeah, no, that's like pretty good. He's like,
Okay,
that's like
all right.
pretty
The
good.
dessert sounds
Hold
pretty
on.
good.
Hold on, real
But-
quick though. I need to say something. This herb salted pork tenderloin sounds delicious. Crispy pork belly, seasonal vegetables, pork jus,
Yeah,
candied pecan.
John,
I would eat
Paul,
that 4 times.
Come on.
I would not pay $62 for that stuff.
You're
I
paying
would
a lot of
not.
Disney
Paying
no matter
for
what.
the
I would
appetizer
Hold on.
dessert.
No, Hold
No.
Take the cost out of
No.
it. Would you eat there if it was $10? The food.
Well, I would eat in a lot of places. If it
Yeah,
was
but
$10.
so when I go to I'm 34 now. Like money's not as big of a deal. Like when we
would
used
not-
to we used to go and we were
let's-
scrimping
sure-
pennies.
yeah,
you know?
sure.
I will eat anywhere.
Let's say
I don't like the price anymore. I like the food.
Let's say this is like as far as price goes, if I went to an Outback, let's say it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I still would not go. I would take that money and I would go somewhere where I would eat to my heart's content.
Listen.
Yeah, but you can't just eat at buffets.
I'm not saying buffets. Other
I'm not saying you may not like that, but you're saying this is number 3 on your bottom.
That's exactly what I was
That's
going to
a-
say. That to not like it is fine. You have it as your third least favorite restaurant.
And there's-
I'm sending a message
But
here
Andrew-
to all the people.
Andrew, there's restaurants with food that you won't eat at all. You just showed that one that you would eat literally the desserts and the entrees.
That's not true. So
that is
here's-
true. You
here's
eat the
thing.
filet, you eat the pork, and you would eat the chicken.
You know what? Let his list be his list.
Yeah.
His
if-
true colors.
Yeah,
His true colors.
We know who the real
I'm not
Disney
go-
fans
I'm gonna
are.
have
Exactly.
this, I'm gonna have the steak. I'm not gonna eat any of the sides. I'll have the dessert just because I've already paid.
You guys
for it.
ready for my number 3?
I'll have that pork belly and love it. Number 3.
San Angelin. The one that's in the pyramid.
I like that.
Okay, I don't hate it, but I do.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, it's cool to watch people float across in the boat, but the last time I went there, and this is why I'll never probably go back, had the worst service of my life,
Oh.
had the worst company of our life. I don't know if I could say the name.
Yeah.
I can?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, no, I'm not going to say the
We
name.
probably
Oh.
shouldn't say the name if we're saying they're the worst company we've ever had in our lives.
I guess.
We'll pass on the name.
Yeah, I mean, the name. Well, I mean, I don't think.
No.
They're probably not watching.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
Shannon.
Shannon,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
She might watch it. But
Shannon, if you're watching, we hate you.
no, we don't hate you, but you caused a lot of issues at that restaurant.
Yeah. That was a weird.
Complained a
time.
lot. Now I don't blame her. My food was awful too,
Yeah.
and I worked in a restaurant. I can't complain, but I should have. My food was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad, and the service was so bad, and the company was so bad, and I've never gone back, and I don't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of want to check out Hacienda, the one across the street. I know you.
Is that the one with the tacos? Right? Didn't you have it?
the tacos? I've been to like.
That's in the tequila area.
Well, there's a quick
Cabernet
service,
tequila.
but next to the quick service, I thought you've eaten there. There's the Hacienda de San. I don't know if it's Angel or Angel or whatever it is, but
I think
it's right on the water. I thought you've eaten there, and you told me it was good.
No, I've never eaten there.
Oh, I do want to try that place. I was actually looking at pictures earlier
Not
today.
the tequila, where the margaritas, the frozen margaritas are. Me and Ariel tried the tacos.
But yeah, you're talking about the quick service.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll
Yeah.
get to that in quick service.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. I love that. I love those tacos.
Yeah, that's okay.
And their Patron margarita.
That's what I thought you were talking about, but no.
No, there's another sit down across from the. It's another sit down restaurant.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, you're the one who told me about it, so it's weird that you're having so much trouble remembering it. It's called Hacienda. I called you
No.
time.
I never ate there.
I know, but you know what it is, right?
Oh yeah, I
okay.
do. And actually, my favorite viewing of Illumination
is there, right?
was just past there. Yeah.
All right, that was my 3.
Okay, so just because like we had some disgruntled cast worker and some bad service.
No, the food was bad too.
Oh, you didn't like the food?
No, the food is horrendous. It was very cheap. Well, I guess I don't know what traditional Mexican food tastes like. Actually, I have been to Mexico, so yeah, it was very cheap Mexican food.
Okay,
it was like not good. I mean, I've only been to tourist parts of Mexico, so again, maybe I'm wrong. But correct me if I'm wrong. If you're from Mexico and you've been to both, but the food just tasted very cheap, very gross. It was not. I love Mexican food, and I had a bad time. Mexican food is like on the top of like my top 3 favorite types of food.
Yeah, I've heard people say that they don't love it, and that's
it's just an atmosphere. It's a great atmosphere.
It's a perfect
with terrible food.
Segue to my like where I
Just
like
segue.
Italian food,
Oh,
but this
God.
is not good Italian food. Terralina Crafted Italian. This is in Disney Springs, and Ariel and I met her father. He lives in Florida. We meet up for dinner.
Where is that?
I don't know that you've ever had it. It's next to.
No, I haven't, but I'm trying to think of where it is.
I think it's close to the Daily Poutine. It's not in that central. Now I'm gonna be like.
It's like closer to like the Disney area of like this the merchandise area.
I don't think it
Disney-
matters.
Yes.
No, it
it's
doesn't matter. I'm
closer
just trying to
that.
think of where it is.
It doesn't matter, but I'm curious now.
Oh my God! There's one that I should have put on. I have to change my list now. I just thought of the worst restaurant because I didn't think of Disney Springs originally. Hey, can I take out Mexico right now and change it?
No.
Well, when we get to honorary mentions, I'll bring it up. It's
All right.
probably John's bottom one. Now that I think about it.
Maybe. Okay. So basically, I compare it to Olive Garden. It was kind of trash.
That's John's go-to when he trashes Italian places.
Olive Garden. That's everyone's go-to.
Yeah.
But you know what?
But
Olive Garden ain't that bad.
But like Olive Garden, first of all,
Okay,
Olive Garden
alright.
ain't that bad. But also, that's comparing. So he essentially compared it to Mama Melrose. So do you think it's equally as bad because you called Mama Melrose Olive Garden?
No.
Well,
I think this is
then-
worse. It was more disappointing because this is not a theme park. It's right
What are
next.
you
It's right
looking
next to
up, John?
Paddlefish. It's right next to Paddlefish. That's what I'm looking at.
Can't picture it.
This is like crafted Italian. They're making it seem like ooh, this is a little more upscale. Where Mama Melrose is an Italian restaurant in a theme park. This is Disney Springs. It just disappoints more.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Number 2.
Yeah. Number 2, Tusker House. I got.
So we don't got to talk too much about that one.
Yeah, no, I felt ill after I ate there.
Bad
that's-
stuff.
yeah.
Real bad stuff.
All right.
So honestly, we can just move on because
Yeah.
we already talked about it.
Number 2. Sci-Fi Diner.
Okay.
You know why?
Because of the meat
Because
platter?
I went there one time, I got this meat platter, and it was horrible. To this day, I remember how sick I was after.
I like.
I can't believe I told you. I must
You
have
got sick
He has
too.
to stop getting
I
the
must
meat
have gotten.
platter.
Yeah, I must have gotten sick after I told him to eat it.
Oh my goodness!
Because I was so sick afterwards. It was so gross. And John, I mean, I remember John used to be like, Sci-Fi Diner. I'm like, dude, I hate that place.
Why would you?
He's
tell
like,
me?
why? I'm like, this food's terrible. He's like, what'd you get? I was like, I don't know. I got this meat platter. He goes, why didn't you get a burger and shake like everyone else?
Paul,
Right.
Paul, why did you tell me to get
I don't
the meat
know.
platter?
It was so
funny.
bad. I've never, well, except for my number 1, I've never hated a place more than when I went to Sci-Fi Diner.
I'm actually willing to bet I can find it in our chat in our text conversation.
No, I probably told you in person.
No, I disagree with that.
All right, check and find the text.
Because you were in Disney when he told you, right?
Yeah.
It was like 4 years ago, though.
Because I know because you probably texted me while you were at Sci-Fi. Maybe you told me about it before you got
I ate it. I probably saw it. I probably saw it on the menu. I was like, that's what I did. I think I took a picture of the menu. I'm like, dude, look at this.
Yeah, this is ringing.
And then I never followed up with like, this was gross.
Right. Yeah. Which you should have. Where was that?
I should have followed up, but it was gross.
Well, that's your bad.
Come on now.
In my defense, the movies were on.
There's no There's no defense.
The movies were on.
You felt ill after eating.
Yeah,
that's something you remember.
I've only felt ill twice.
I went the next day. I might have even seen you before I went there.
I only felt ill twice, and we'll get to the second time on one of my top 5 quick service places.
Number 2, John.
This guy. I hope you remember all this.
I can't. How can I forget?
This restaurant number 2 is on my bottom. It really.
We're getting some bullshit.
See, I love
here.
Italian,
but it tasted like Olive Garden.
No, this is worse than Olive Garden. This is Tony's. This is Tony's Town Square.
I think we'll see that one again.
I have that as an honorable mention.
Okay.
Come on, just bland. The waiting room's cool because it's playing Lady and the Tramp on loop. End of story.
I knew you hated that place. I was wondering if it was going to show up.
You could order there's not even like spaghetti on the menu. You can order like the Parmesan with spaghetti and do the cute little thing if you're. End of story.
We were talking earlier and we were looking at different names of restaurants, and I was like, "Oh, Tony's." John hates that place, and I kept moving on. That's all I said. Like one line, I'm like, "Oh, John hates that place." I kept going.
Okay. End of story.
Oh, we're at number 1, so honorable mentions.
Well, we are.
Dishonorable mentions.
I had
Dishonorable
one dishonorable mentions, and it was Tony's.
Oh, perfect.
I've got one because I forgot to put it on my list. It probably would have been number 1 if I remembered. T-Rex.
Oh, come on. I actually
T-Rex's food is horrendous.
No, I
would
T-Rex.
go to T-Rex before Rainforest, though.
So would
yeah, but I wouldn't. That's also on my dishonorable mentions.
Well,
you got Rainforest on your dishonorables?
No, but I do now that you mentioned it.
What's on your actual dishonorables?
T-Rex.
Just one. So what else?
That's
do you
it?
got?
You just had one?
Well, so T-Rex's food, unless you know what it is, it's one of those things that's probably my fault. I go there, their appetizers look really appealing, so I order those as a meal. Mm-hmm. They're super cheap, like it's like waffle fries and crap chicken stuff.
Yeah.
Though the one time I did get like a full meal there, it was like a stuffed chicken, and the problem is I can't remember if I really liked it or I really hated it. It was one or the other. So it's not memorable enough. It's a cool atmosphere. Mm-hmm. It's a place to go with people. But the last time we brought a group there, all I remember is that we walked out. I remember it was me and Joe were like, yeah, it's probably the last time we're coming here. This place is just not great.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I like it just fine, and then the chocolate extinction dessert is awesome.
Well, that dessert's incredibly delicious.
I
would go there
for that.
I'd walk in for the dessert. I'd leave another restaurant and be like, yeah, no, I'll get dessert
Which I guess
here.
is why it's an honorable mention instead of on the actual.
Yeah.
So dishonorable mention. Mine are okay. So. This harkens back to way earlier when I said.
Here we go.
So Diamond Horseshoe was on my dishonorable, and it's only because of the last experience I had.
John has a bad experience every time.
Was it in May, John? Was it in May?
You know what?
No,
I'm starting to question all your decisions.
And then Rose and Crown Pub is on my dishonorables, but it could come back.
I'm really. I just question all.
Go get yourself a shepherd's pie and a blackcurrant cider.
Get yourself a shepherd's pie
and a blackcurrant cider and a trifle.
And
the trifle.
And the trifle.
Okay, guys, calm down.
Cheers to you, Paul.
You guys were just yelling at each other.
I'm excited. We understand. I'm excited to share my number 1.
My third dishonorable mention is Chef Art Smith's Homecoming. The fried chicken. Actually, I felt sick. I felt sick after that place, and didn't like it. And everybody's like best fried chicken on Disney property. I go Hoop-de-Doo review every time.
Hoop-de-Doo review.
Yeah.
What an What did I have them as 3? Yeah, that's where they belong. But they are good. They are good.
All right, what's your number 1, Andrew?
3's high. There's like 45 restaurants on property.
Oh yeah,
probably more than that.
Well,
right?
I think there's more than that for sure.
Number 1, I kind of took a different spin on this. It might be controversial, and I'm sure you guys will be able to argue it in many
bottom
different ways.
list is a.
I wonder if me and John have the same one now that I've heard the rest of his list.
I went for my number 1. I went purely. I'll just never go there.
You went one that you haven't had.
What's that?
Your number 1 is one you've never been to?
Oh no! I've been there. It's just like
spit it out.
At least for like Tusker House, like you could force me to try it again. I'll just Planet Hollywood. You'll never see me at Planet Hollywood in Disney World. It's just you'll never see it.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the same way I feel about. Well, definitely not the same way I feel.
Right,
about
I know what
SDK.
you're gonna say.
Yeah, it's
SDK
not at
is
all
a
the same way.
chain.
I will go to SDK almost every time I go to Disney.
You didn't say because it's a chain.
Yeah, but I didn't say because it's a chain. The food is pretty bad, but it's. I mean, if you go to Planet Hollywood, I go to Planet Hollywood like once usually to go to each one, like because there's so many different. Well, there's like 3 of them I think, but it's cool to be at each different one. Yeah, I mean,
It's just and like
if you're gonna eat
and
crap, like because they have like really cool crap, like so I don't eat like the milkshakes with the cereal stuck in. Like they do that like. They do that crap milkshake
The
that has
desserts
like
sound good. It's
cereal with
the
like the cake on top.
The atmosphere
Yeah.
sucks now.
I'm not gonna eat that.
the atmosphere has changed and it sucks now, and you just won't see me there. You won't.
Yeah.
Well, they took out all the cool like artifacts, which is what you went there for.
Exactly. So that's my number 1. I don't have much else to say about it.
Okay. What's your number 1?
Skipper Cantina.
Come on. I like that restaurant.
Oh
I didn't
my
see that
God.
coming at all. Actually,
Yeah, I
I
didn't
went
either.
there once, and maybe I'll give
I'm
it.
going.
Maybe,
I'm going in 3 weeks. I'm booked at Skipper Canteen.
maybe I'll give it a second chance.
you're just going everywhere. aren't
That
Damn
was
right.
by far.
you? Good trip.
We've talked about the best steak I've had in Disney. By far and away, the worst steak I've ever had in Disney was at Skipper Cantina.
Get a steak.
It was a strip steak. It was supposed to be
It
seasoned.
is odd that he got a steak.
It was gross. The whole experience, I was unhappy the whole time. The guy kept coming over and making puns. I'm like, leave me alone.
Well, you know where you're at.
I know.
you
I mean, I would have
Yeah.
enjoyed it had their food been good.
Yeah.
I remember waiting a long time for a lot of stuff. Like the service wasn't good when we went, which I know I shouldn't be rating on, but it's still part of the experience.
Yeah.
Service
Number
wasn't
1,
good that
wow.
time.
Give it another try. But I hear you, and it's also it suffers from the same thing. Like not as bad, but like Sanaa has like some of the ingredients are just a little wild there.
Yeah, and
You
for
know.
a picky eater,
Yeah.
like I like
Amen to
seasoning.
that.
Seasoning is one of the few things I'm not usually
Yep.
picky on.
Yeah.
And whatever they seasoned this with, I was not having it. It was weird. It was not tasty.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. My number 1 is only because the menu is a little lackluster for me. Ate there one time, got the bangers and mash, wasn't good. Ariel got, I forget what she got. Wasn't good. And then everything else was like a sandwich or a club or a cheeseburger. The Plaza restaurant.
We were talking
Oh,
about that
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been,
Okay.
so I wasn't sure.
I
about it.
have
also
been.
I've never
I've been to try it, and I will give it another chance because. But if I give it another chance, it's like, hey, I'll go for the turkey club. Like,
Yeah, just
like,
go to
it's
Harbor
just
House
not-
at that
just
point.
go to Harbor
Well,
House.
well,
at
yeah,
that point.
yeah.
Save some
Um,
money, get the same
yeah.
sandwich.
Right. Yeah.
It's yeah, no, it's just no good, no good for me.
Well, that's really something.
Yep.
You know what we forgot to talk about? If you're
What?
going to breakfast, Crystal Palace.
I was gonna bring that up when you were talking about Hoop-de-Doo review, whether or not it was out yet, because we brought Sebastian in May to Crystal Palace.
Not open? Or is
No,
it-
it's open,
it-
but we
yeah.
brought him because he loves Winnie the Pooh, and the Winnie the Pooh characters were not coming out.
Is it?
But
Was
this
it
time they are,
buffet
so
or was it
Not
bringing
a
the food
breakfast
to you?
person.
No buffet.
Okay, so they're back to
Oh
normal.
yeah, yeah,
buffet?
back to normal. And I guess the characters are coming back out. So in 3 weeks when we go, we're gonna eat at Crystal Palace.
I love the breakfast. It's probably it's by far my favorite breakfast at Disney.
I didn't realize how many places we're eating at in 3 weeks.
Apparently everywhere. How long are
Yeah.
you staying?
That's a
A week,
lot.
right?
Oh, a week, a little over a week. Yeah,
Nice.
Wow.
Old Key West?
Yeah. you
Old
know.
Key West.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for him.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
This episode's gonna air weeks after I'm back. So we have like 5 in the bucket.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So well, way to ruin everything. So yeah, we do film a couple at a time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
We
adults,
film,
you know.
it's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the Halloween
You
episode?
wanted to
This
put
is
a
not
pumpkin
the.
out.
I did want to put a pumpkin out.
Maybe it's not the Halloween episode.
It's not the Halloween
All right, for
episode.
the next one, we'll put a pumpkin
This
out.
is gonna air in like
where's the
second weekend in October or something.
We'll put a pumpkin out later.
We'll put a pumpkin out later.
pumpkin out later?
All right, let's cheers to the pumpkin.
Well, cheers to that pumpkin.
All right,
and you know
cheers.
what? I'll cheers to all your lists too.
Cheers to the list.
Cheers to the list. I think it was. I mean, there was a few. For the most part, we only disagreed on a couple, honestly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it came down to preference on food.
Yeah.
I agree. I know.
John likes gross
and I
foods
thought it
that
was-
we don't like.
And
And,
I thought it was diverse enough. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yep.
So
So cheers to you, gentlemen.
cheers.
cheers. There's nothing in mind.
I'm
but
out.
I'll pretend though.
Your guys are
This is
out.
called acting. Ready?
Yeah, he's not out. I'm not out. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.